cheddar, I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't worry, remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. My solo no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you fever blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, get about my face, wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money. Go get some money, I say get some money. Go get some money.
Hey, what's good? Who with me? It's gonna be slow today. What's happening with everybody? Can y'all hear me? Can you see me? Can you feel me? Let me tear the screen down a little bit, guys. I got a camera problem, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Let me make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just put a thumbs up or something, or send me something and let me know. Let me kill the black background. Let me leave it up for just you and I. My apologies. I got a cracked camera, it looks like. My goodness. I don't know how this thing's happen. I take it with me, so maybe that's how it happened. I got a little crack in the screen, and I'm hoping it doesn't affect us that much. But from what I'm seeing right now, it's a little blurry, a little cloudy. And let me see if I can see the chat real fast. What's good with everybody? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? I apologize. Let me try to get this thing right. Because, like I said, I got a cracked camera, and I will get it fixed the end of the day. Well, by tonight, this evening. Can everybody see me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Just send me a thumbs up or let me know on the screen. Just send a thumbs up or something and let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me okay. My apologies. Okay. Looks like I'm getting a little bit of feedback from some folks. Not much. You know, we got hard-headed people in this group. They speak when they want to. They're not class participants. You know, we don't really do it like that. We just roll with the force. However it's gonna go, it's gonna go. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. Happy Wednesday to you too, Brenda Early and everybody else. I'll do roll call here in a second. Give me 1 second. I am having issues. I'm hoping we don't have to tear down real early. This camera is moving on me, and it's really messing up really bad. But that's okay. I'm the best I can. Okay. Let me move some stuff around here. See if I can get this thing right. See if I can get it right. My lighting. All right, so my apologies, man. It feel like I've been gone forever. What is today? Wednesday? We didn't do a show yesterday. Let me explain why we weren't on yesterday. We were not on yesterday because yesterday was my daughter's birthday. Jason Dockery says video quality not good. I know, bro. My camera is cracked. I have a lens cracked and it's not doing real well for me right now. So let me see if let me see who else co-signed that. Somebody else co-signed that. Brenda Early said it also. I'm working it. Got a cracked camera. Cracked camera lens. And I'm trying to get it go on the opposite side of that camera lens, but we're gonna do the best we can. Also, if you have a bad feed, maybe jump in and jump back out. Try that. Anybody else having problems seeing me? Okay. Anyone else? All right. All right. So listen, yesterday, I appreciate everybody for coming in today. I apologize for not being here yesterday. And the reason why I was not here yesterday is because yesterday, I have two daughters. My oldest yesterday turned 22. She's actually catching up with me. I'm 40 and she's catching up. Who said something? Well, anyway, spent the day with the family doing the birthday, celebration and dinner and lunch. We did a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner. We did everything. And then we ended up going to some who is Latoya Benford? I'm just playing, but we're going to have to block somebody. Somebody just called me a liar. What's up, cuz? That's Kevin Benford's sister. That's Coach Buck's sister. Y'all know we cousins through marriage. So they always try to give me a hard time and shit, They part of the Had Not family. My wife's a Had Not and Benford and all that. So we lightweight cousins through marriage. I wish I would have known that when we was younger and shit. I wish I would have known we was gonna be cousins. I could have had Buck have my back when we was kids and shit. It would have been nice to have some of that 2-5 coverage coming from English Woods and shit. We was cool as long as we wasn't fighting each other. The Faye used to fight English Woods back in the day, right? And shit. It was like we would fight and have fun. It was fun fight back in the day. Fake ass gang type shit. We was cool. It was back in the day we used to fake fight. Like we was fighting, but it wasn't to the death and no shit like that. We'll fight your ass because we all went to gamble. And we will fight your ass so we can make fun of your ass at school, right? So if you get your ass beat, you get talked about at school. That's just how it went. I don't know. So look, 2-5 is very big. I'm just gonna I want to express this to y'all. Westwood, the west side, is like real big. We had the Faye, we had English Woods, Moose Woods, Millville. I like to say a little bit up the street from like that, right up there by Swartz and shit. I'm not quite sure what that area is up that way. Up. What is that street? I'm sorry. It's only been 40 years, but right up by Swartz and all that. And you had some people like Karen and them that used to live up there, and those were like the privileged black folks. McHenry, thank you, Latoya. I called you Latoya like you was PC. I'm sorry, Latanya. But anyway, yeah, Baltimore Avenue, all that. See, my wife grew up on Baltimore. So she was one of them that had the house and all that old shit. They was like considered to be the privileged kids. We lived all in the projects, Fay apartments, English Woods, and all that old shit. But anyway, let me get to the point of what I was saying. And if I'm lying, somebody call me and correct me. We would fight English Woods on some play shit. We was cool because we went to school together. But one thing you couldn't do is violate 2-5 back in the day. Like we wasn't about to like let somebody come up. If you fought English Woods, you had to fight the Faye. You wasn't about to be from Norwood or one of these other areas, not even downtown. I mean, I'm being honest with you, yo. Like, it's like 2-5 collectively came together when some shit came out of town or some static came from somewhere else. Out of town is outside of the 2-5 zone. Okay, you could be from nowhere. Moosewood, Fay, and I don't know about Moosewood. I'll be honest. Millville, Moosewood, they was their own. That was a whole different planet. But the Fay and English Woods would loke up and go at it with anybody in the city. Now that was the truth. But when we had to go to school together, we all went to Gamble and all that. Gamble, I think it was Gamble Junior High. Hey, bro, like we was all on our own. Davis Denise said we would come together. I'm sorry, I missed. We would come together for a hood fight. Hell yeah. I mean, we would back in the day, except like we would play football against English Woods. And then after football or during football, it always ended up being a fight. Sweet Pea, Buck, they didn't know how to act. Them English Woods dudes did not know how to act. You couldn't beat it. Look, okay, if you beat them in football, they ready to fight. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving, damn it. We would have these Thanksgiving bowls and all this old shit, you know, play football at the park, tackle football, hard-ass football. And if you beat their ass, they want to beat your ass. It was hard for us. But here's the thing. The beauty of it is we all survived it. We all grew up being friends. We all grew up being cool. I got my first ass beaten from somebody in the Fay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I mean, if you can't grow up how we grew up and not have gotten your ass beat at least once or twice, 10 times in your life. And I wasn't no slouch. I was no pushover. You couldn't hang with the dudes I hung with and just get your ass beat all the time. They wouldn't mess with you. But hey, sometimes somebody have a better day than you have. Shit, I didn't win them all. I won a few. I didn't win them all. But anyway, we all grew up to be great friends, and everybody know each other. And I still don't know not one person from Moosewood. I don't know one person from Millville. I know a couple from Millville, but we still, I'm still watching you out this side of this eye. I still don't trust your ass. But my 2-5 family, what up? You know, you couldn't help but be rough. Shit, I was primed and prepped for it. From 1335 John Street. Damn it, I'm from down the way. 2-5 didn't have nothing up there that I couldn't handle. I was primed and prepped for that shit. You understand? I was ready. I had to go through a little bit of thunder and what they call that shit, turbulation. When I got up there. Okay, Valerie Davis says Zone 15 always roll together. You know what? You did. Let me tell you something about Zone 15. For those that don't know, Zone 15 is Lincoln Heights. All right. My granddaddy, my uncle's father. Okay. Not my mother's father, my uncle's father. I'm gonna put it out there the right way. I called him granddaddy. My granddaddy lived in Lincoln Heights in Zone 15. So in the summer times or during the, you know, sometimes I would go out there because my uncle, we all lived in the same house, in the same apartment in the Laura Homes. His daddy lived in Lincoln Heights. So that allowed me to get a little bit of that, a taste of that. So we would go out to Lincoln Heights. He would go out. He had friends that lived out there. My uncle did, but he older than me. So all his friends was there and we would kick it. We would have a good time, but I was little Randy, so I couldn't really kick it like they kicked it. But when we played football and shit, they would try to house me. You know what I mean? They would try to bully me and all that old shit. I wasn't having it. And I was fighting Lincoln Heights dudes back then too. But they was my uncle's friend and he got me by about 10 years. So they wasn't going to do nothing to me. But it was good practice. It was it was good work. Let's just say that. It was real good work. So like I bounced around all the hoods. I bounced around quite a bit of hoods. And then I didn't get a taste of Avondale till I got older. Okay. And let me just say this to you. All the spots in Cincinnati, they are the same. They're all the same. All of the hoods are the same, regardless if you ain't lived in all of them, don't say nothing. If you only lived in one and you had this perception of the other because that's what they say about it, you can't really say nothing. You can just go by what people then said. I'm telling you, waking up in Lincoln Heights, I'm telling you from waking up in 2-5, and I'm telling you from waking up in downtown. I didn't really wake up in Avondale, but I damn near had some. Them Blair boys took care of me. Blair boys in Avondale took care of me because I was the DJ. They'd tear some shit up. You know, dollar parties. They don't have dollar parties these days, do they? They don't have dollar parties. I know all my old heads is fixing their wigs right now and shining their gold tooth in the front, sitting here, yeah, them dollar parties was a bad mother. That's what y'all doing right now, because those was the dollar parties. And over on Blair, we never had a party that went to the end. The end is when the fight started. When the fight started, the police came, and then I had to change the red light to a regular light. Y'all remember the red light dollar parties? We used to put the red light in the thing and have the parties and shit, right? For $1, everybody come in. And then they would pay me to be the DJ. Blair boys. These was the dangerous dudes. I ain't gonna even say that. These cats was the coolest dudes in Avondale. Everybody know how crazy Blair was over there. But they'll let me walk with all my shit, all my equipment. They let me and my boy Doug, y'all heard Doug Maples, he'll tell you. I'd walk my crates of records over to Blair. Nobody fuck with me. I had a pass. They let me take my turntables, my everything. They had my back. You couldn't mess with me. I was the DJ. I felt privileged. Thank you, Blair boys. But now let me say this to you. All hoods are the same. There's a code. There's people you can mess with. There's people you can't mess with. I wouldn't change anything in the world growing up that way. It absolutely prepares you for life. It absolutely prepares you to be, if you utilize those powers the right way. It's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world. If you can learn to get past that adversity, learn how to get that tough skin, learn, sometimes you got to take an ass whooping or two in life. It prepares you for what's coming later. If you didn't get an ass whooping when you was a kid, now you got to understand, an ass whooping when you was a kid was a physical ass whooping. An ass whooping as an adult these days don't necessarily mean an ass whooping, but the feeling's the same. You ever been fired from a job and you feel like somebody smacked the shit out of you when they did it? Yeah, I've been fired from every job I've ever had that I worked for somebody. And every time I got fired, except for one time, I felt like somebody punched the shit out of me. But since I grew up the way I grew up, that punch didn't really mean shit. It didn't mean nothing. I could take it, took that shit, ate it. Right. No big deal. Some kids today, oh my God, they're so pampered. They're so, so cuddled and pampered that adversity is going to kick them in the ass. And keep in mind, they've never had an ass whooping before. And when I say ass whooping, they've never been physically whoopings. I don't believe in those, but I'll get to that later. They've never been whooped. So when they get out here in this world, they got a serious ass whooping coming. And it may not be a physical one, but it's going to feel like a physical one. Just watch and see. Just watch and see. Let me say what's up to a few people, man. I don't want to get too far before I start, into what we doing. Stephen Speed, what's good? Jason Dockery, what's happening? Anthony Prosser, what's up? AP, Valerie Davis, what's happening, Queen? Miss James, what's good? Brandy, what's happening with you? Or Brendan, I'm sorry. Gypsy, what's good? Brenda Early's in the building. Jenny, what's happening? Let's see who else we got. The screen is moving. Latoya, what's good? I didn't already say what's up to you. You didn't make fun of me. Sabrina Calloway, what's happening? Brenda Harris, what's good? Valerie Davis. Let's see who else we got. Angela Kinney, what's happening? Davis Denise, what's good? Jerica Vaughn, what's happening? Okay, I said you. Thea Williams, what's happening? Hello, Wyatt family. Wyatt is back. He got some tea to spill. Hold on. He got some tea to spill, and I better not have missed it. What tea you talking about, sis? Who done told you some shit about me that I ain't told yet? I'd like to know. I don't know. Them school routes was so funny. Y'all, we had each other's back. You damn right. Back in the day, man. Look, we all grabbed on, what was that? The 49? The 49. All right. We caught the 49 all the way to, I guess, Gamble. Shit. What, I don't know what school bus it was. I know the 49 stopped on our street. It might have just been a school bus, but it was a metro school bus. But anyway, we stacked our asses all up in that bus. The whole Fay Apartments that went to Gamble jumped on that bus. Thank God I lived on Williamsburg, 2252 Williamsburg. It was one of the first stops. Then it would ride down the street and pick up everybody else. So we got a seat. Everybody else had to stand up and ride all the way to Gamble, standing up every morning. Ha ha. There's a privilege of being in the front of the Fay Apartments. Not only did it look nicer, because, you know, maintenance stopped at a certain point. The Fay was perping. It was a clean ass spot until you got to Nottingham. Or what is that? I don't know. Remember the street. I used to think it was the people down there was dirty, but it really wasn't. It was just they stopped picking shit up after a certain point. That was just to represent the Fay Apartment as being clean and shit. You know, when you first walk there, when you first drive in, you drive through and it look all clean, and you get to Williamsburg, the two streets right across from each other, Williamsburg, it look all clean. You go a little bit further down, you pass the Goodwin's house, and then once you get past that court right there, shit get real. You start really realizing you in the hood. They don't change the screens and the doors and none of that shit down there. I thought it was the people. Maintenance stopped working once they got past Williamsburg. That's what that shit was. Let's see. Anthony Prosser. Let me see. It was a couple other people that I didn't say what's up to. Sean D. Nutter, what's good, bro? Where we at? Scott Bain, what's happening with you? Sorry, the screen is moving so fast, guys, that I can't really keep up. Somebody still talking about them dollar house parties. Krista Wilwright says she never been to a dollar house party. That's because your daddy was around. We wouldn't have let your ass in no way, because he would have come looking for you. Daddy, she the only one. She one of the few in the faith had a daddy, right? So y'all can get mad at me if you want to. Krista Wilwright had a mama and a daddy in the house, right? And didn't nobody mess with her daddy. All right, he wasn't to be messed with, but that's good. You know, that's really, really good. He wasn't there for no jokes, no games. He wasn't playing. But we wouldn't have let your ass in the parties, no way. Because if he came, we didn't want to deal with him. Because, you know, he was nice, but he was nice, you know. He was a little mean. Janice, what's good? Happy Wednesday. Tiffany Daniels is in the building. The Betting Public Sports Show is in the building. I know I'm gonna get some pushback from Crystal for saying all that about her precious dad. RIP to him, but he did what a daddy was supposed to do. I meant that in all compliments. I meant it in complimenting fashion. Trust me. He did what he was supposed to do. Let's see here. We're gonna start this shit off right. We got Fane Rothstein in the house tonight. All right, well, maybe he'll call in and start some shit off. I don't know. Let's see. Athea, my sister, says, E-Man gave us a hint on live yesterday. You out here making moves. Huh? Spread my shit. He putting all my shit out there like that? Can't tell nobody nothing. He told y'all what you meet him or something? Did he tell you on the air? This mother. He said he had your listeners in their feelings because we don't know. Damn, I'm gonna have to talk to E about that. Crystal said 49 Firemount and English Woods. Yeah, Notorious B.O.B. is in the building. Salute, Bobby Kenny. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. Sabrina Calloway, what's good, Queen? Terry Anderson, what's happening with you? Let's see. Anybody else before we get to chomping it? Yeah. China Wright Hill, what's happening? What's good? Everything good? Everything good in your neck of the woods? All right, so let's get at it a little bit. I ain't got really nothing powerful to talk about. Just a couple little things. Somebody told me E was talking about me too. Y'all bear with me. I got a cracked screen. I got my retainer in. Y'all know I wear braces, right? So I got my retainer in, so I'm going to do the best I can. All right. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so I took a little trip. I decided not to come. Okay, not to come on the air yesterday and spend the day with the family and do what we do. Family shit. We went to I had to go to the mall, but we went to these things to eat and all that old shit. Went to the mall and did the did the birthday thing, did all that, do what daddies do. Bitch and complain the whole time like you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. Jericho Vaughn says, R.I.P. Twitch. Is that Twitch? That's the guy, that's the DJ who killed himself, correct? I'd like to speak on that. I don't know him, never watched the show. The Ellen show, I never watched what he was doing on the dance things, but I will say this. Let me just say this, because I don't want to get long in that. I try not to talk about or of people that I don't really know anything about. But let me just say this to you first. I seen a video. I don't know how accurate it was, but it was a TikTok that they said it was him moments before he killed himself, because I believe he committed suicide, right? They said this was a TikTok moments before he killed himself. Now, you got to understand, he was with his family. He was with his wife and his daughter. Everything looked good. Everything looked Gucci. And he was smiling and doing this and doing the hand signs and doing a TikTok. Everything looked gravy. And then he killed himself. I don't know how he killed himself, with pills, hung himself. It don't matter. But that's an unhappy individual. Okay? And I'd like to say something about looking happy and being sad. I've been there. I used to tell myself as a kid that all I ever wanted in life was a bunch of money, cars, big old house. All I want is money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. I know that sounds horrible. But I was in love with money and didn't really love myself. He shot himself. Jesus. Now that's brave. I don't care what anybody say. When somebody says that somebody killed themselves, they took the easy road out, I understand that. But when you say it was cowardless, like he's a coward, or somebody's a coward for killing themselves, can you kill yourself? Shit, I'd be scared. That's one thing I'm afraid of. I would be afraid to kill myself. The shit might hurt. Like, what I mean by that, I don't mean it in a jokingly way. I'm saying, what if I don't accomplish it? What if I try to blow my head off and I miss, or it do something different and I got half my head sitting there, but I'm still alive? I don't want that pain. I don't want that pain. So I one of the things I don't think I would ever do, and I'm knocking on wood because you don't know. Killing myself is just off the table. Now I might run I might like kill myself on paper. That's some shit I didn't thought about doing before. I'll be honest. I didn't thought about like killing myself and becoming somebody brand new. Like, I don't want this shit no more. I don't want life. I don't want the things that I created. And I'm talking about the things that money buy. I would never trade my family in for anything, okay? I wouldn't trade all the experiences, the hassles, the problems. I wouldn't trade any of that. But a lot of shit that comes with life, there's a heavy price for it. The more shit, the more things that we accumulate, the more things you buy, the more zeros. Who remember this? A couple years ago, I put a post out. And this was one of the times that I was going through some shit. And I was like, look, I was going through it. And I was telling motherfuckers, I just got to be honest. This is one of them moments. I said on my post, I said, I'm paraphrasing, if your problems don't consist of this many zeros, I don't know if I said go sit your ass down or if I said you ain't really got no problems. It wasn't fair to say, but I got the response I was looking for. And the response that I'm looking for is sometimes not necessarily curing my own pain by being around other miserable people. That's not always what I'm looking for. Sometimes what I'm looking for is sometimes you got to be able to sometimes curing other people's pains make yours not feel as bad. When people know that you're going through what they going through and y'all can relate and can, sometimes, misery does love company. But sometimes you need to be in a position where you sharing something with somebody and you're going through more than they going through, and it medicates their pain. Make their shit not feel as bad. Sometimes you need that. And That helps me sometimes. Sometimes when somebody reach out to me and say, hey man, thank you. I was going through this and you was like, bang, bang, bang. You was going through it too, and bang, 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 and all this and all that. And yeah, okay, I shared a moment. Sorry about that. Like I said, I got this camera that's acting up and it's not doing me any good right now. I keep moving because it's the clip on it is broke and there's a crack in the screen. So I'll do the best I can by keep going, okay? But sharing, you know, situations and pain with people sometimes helps other people get through it. And one time I made a post that seemed a little selfish, but I did it anyway because I did it in my feelings. And I said, you know, if your problems don't have this many zeros in it, then I either said you ain't got no problem, or I said, you know, I said something that didn't sit too well with some people. But then there were some people that was checking the shit and was like, yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. But anyway, that DJ who killed himself, Twitch, if he shot himself, that's horrible, because in this TikTok that I just seen, I seen a little bitty girl. And I don't know if he understands what he just left. You know, I thought of my daughter when I seen that myself. I have two daughters. And I'm like, did he really kill himself? This shit, like, or are they just playing? Is this like some fake shit? You know how the internet can get the clowning sometime. And when I seen it, all I could think about was his babies. I was like, wait a minute. Hey, what's up, Tracy Dillingham? Good to see you. Jason Dockery said he had 3 kids. That's horrible. Valerie Davis says sometimes our problems have nothing to do with money. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I've posted other type of problems other than money. But that particular one, I drew that one up because that's the only one I can really remember that drew the response that it did. Okay, that's why I used that one. Let me see here. Okay. I don't understand why he killed himself. I don't know. I'm not in his head. I don't know what happened. I just know that life is worth living, especially when you have a family. Especially when you have a family. And for him to leave 3 kids, a wife, that's devastating. That's absolutely devastating. That's, you know, to me personally, I'm not in the space, you know, I can't judge him. I don't know what he was going through. You know, I can't say that he shouldn't have done it. I could say it. You know, I could even say I would have never done that. But do we really know if we would ever do what somebody else would? I mean, if we had their issues, maybe some mental illness, maybe, you know, I have to suggest that there's some there, because I don't think anybody in their right mind would do that. You know, depression. Oh, Sabrina Calloway just said depression is real illness. Absolutely, it is. And if that's where he was in his life, you know, you just never know what take you out of here. All I can say is people get up every day and smile, and you don't know what they're going through. Let me say this to you real fast. This is a quick 30-second story. The other day, I was riding, I think it was just yesterday. I was riding down the street, and this car came from behind us, jigging and zagging and blang, 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 went from the slow lane, zag, 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 on the expressway, zag, 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 and was and all that old shit. And my daughters were going crazy, like, oh, daddy, he this and that, and all, he going crazy. You should. And I'm like, baby, slow down. I said, you never know what somebody's going through to be worried about why they're doing something that idiotic by going through traffic like that. Because a few years ago, I lost my grandmother. A few years ago, my grandmother was laying in her own home with blood cancer and bone cancer, and she died. She passed away from being in the, you know, in her home, but being in the bed, bedridden for about a month and a half, almost 2 months. And my mother would call me during that period of time and just be like, hey, you might want to get over here because mom's not doing too well. My mom lived with my grandmother while she was going through her process of transition. And she would call me. Sometimes I would be on my way to the office. Sometimes I would be at home chilling. But I lived 20 minutes from my grandmother. And whenever my mother would call me and said, you might want to get over here because mom not doing too good. I don't know if she's going to make it through. I don't know if she's going to make it through the night. I remember like it was yesterday. And I was a bat out of hell getting over there every time. It only happened 2 or 3 times maybe. But each one of those times, I was a bat out of hell getting over there, worried, sick. And I dodged through cars and all that. Nobody who watched me dodge through cars and seen me run yellow lights and damn near red lights, no one ever knew what was going on with me. They didn't know what I was doing. You understand? They didn't know that I had a dying grandmother that was on her deathbed and I was trying to see her and get some last words. They didn't know that. But I was a damn idiot on the road. I was an MF. I was a this and that, and I was getting flicked off. I was this and this and that, and nobody knew where I was in my mind, in my head, and none of that shit really mattered. But see, sometimes you got to go through some things to experience. You got to experience some things to try to maybe understand why people do what they do, why people are dodging through traffic. And that's what I wanted to explain to my daughters yesterday. Like, whoa, don't get mad at somebody because they going through. You don't know where that person is going and what they're going through right now. And in today's temperature, today's world, we got to be careful because cussing and fussing people out and you don't know what they're going through, they may not be going to say something to their last grandmother or their last mom or something like that. They just might be a crazy MF. And you're seeing a lot of road rage, people getting shot, and all of that stuff going on now because people want to just snap back and be all up in people's face and their business and shit, and you don't know what's going on with them. You don't know if it's a serious situation going on over at their grandmama house, or you don't know if this dude or this woman got mental illness. And it ain't worth me arguing. One of the reasons why I don't argue is because I don't want no smoke, because I don't believe in giving you a second chance to get me. So I never let you get out of it. Oh, I can be horrible. I can be horrible. I don't like enemies because enemies tend to always want to get you. So I don't give enemies room to get me. I can be very, and I hate the word petty, but I can be very, if you don't like me and I know you don't like me, stay the fuck away from me because I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, I will do you. Trust what I'm saying to you. And I mean that. I'm severe with it. I use a sledgehammer on an ant. I don't care. I'm just saying, because I got too much to live for, just like you. And people will do you and use you up and do you bad. I'm just being honest. Now, I didn't warn some of y'all that be playing with me. I'm just playing. But this is the truth. I don't start none because I don't want none. But just, keep it cool. But yeah, give these people some space. Let them dodge through traffic and all that old shit. You don't know where they're going. Please, folks, Wyatt Live family, please think of it that way. Think that there's something going on in that person's life and that they dealing with something before you get to flicking them off and hitting your horn and you're just making it even more difficult for whatever situation may occur. You're throwing logs on a fire. Let them go on. Let them go be what they need to be. That's how you stay surviving. That all being said, I just got a question. My Cincinnati family in here? My Cincinnati family in here? Can I get some clear understanding? Where are my people who Carbine 102 says it's some real fools out here. Absolutely. Let a fool be a fool. Don't argue with a fool because now you got two fools. Where my Cincinnati folks at? They in the building? Where my Hamilton County taxpayers? Y'all in the building? Let me take a phone call before I go on. Let me get it in real fast. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm set up. Good evening, caller. Are you there?
Hey, it's Tracy. How are you?
Tracy, what's good, sis? What's happening?
I have heard you say a few times when I was able to pop in, call when you're ready, call when you're ready. And I just wanted to come on and just thank everybody for the love and the prayers that you all have given to me and my family. This has been like one of the hardest things that I've ever had to endure. And for those that don't know, I lost my mom on November 30th. What I will say is that she wasn't sick. She wasn't sickly. She didn't have an illness. She just went in the hospital thinking she had food poisoning and she never came home. So,
Wow. Wow.
thank you for your prayers and everything because I certainly can feel them. I'm just back to work this week and it's just been rough. Her birthday was Monday.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to maintain and just trying to hang in there. When you are the oldest sibling, and there's just two of us,
Mm.
there's a tremendous amount of pressure that is put on you to handle it. And my sister and I have now become my stepfather's caregivers because that's who my mom was. And so we still have a lot of stuff to do. We have to get him moved out here by us. And,
I got you.
we have to get the house cleared out. And we're trying to do this all before, storms and blizzards come. So,
Right.
just pray my strength because I got a lot going on. I'm still trying to listen when I can and trying to laugh again, but it's been a rough road.
I understand, sis. Like I told you, do it when you do it on your time. You know what I'm saying? Do listen, man.
Yeah.
We a few of us, a lot of us have been there. Just
Yeah.
don't let nobody rush you. Don't let nobody, you be in your space as long as it take. But I tell you one
Yeah.
thing that helps me, and that is having conversations and talking, and that always helps. And what really helped me a lot was having conversations with people that knew my grandmother, and you can
Mhm.
reminisce and all that. And then you always know you got a family over here, sis. Never be shy to
Right. I
call in
appreciate
and
it.
let us know what's on your mind and how you miss mom and all that. We here for it. We'll listen. I
I
will.
appreciate it.
I'll listen. Okay. What's you got
All right.
anything
Well,
on?
I'm not gonna bring down the show.
You
I
ain't bringing
didn't
down no
even know
show.
what you
We've
all were
been
talking about.
praying and waiting and looking for you. You inspiring us. Listen, it
Well,
take
I'm sad again because I hate to hear about Ellen's DJ. That was really a shock for me because he has such an upbeat personality. But again, we don't know what people are going
That's
through.
right. That's right. You never know what people are going through and what they're facing, and they wake up and have a smile on their face, and they get in front of these cameras and it's lights, camera, action, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of pressure for people that are on the main screen, and there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that fall under pressure, that put pressure on them. Success is a
Yeah.
drug, and if you don't get your
Hmm.
drug, you don't treat yourself right.
Right. And it takes a lot of energy to continue to push through.
Yeah, it really does. So you doing okay? You getting there, or you still
Um, I don't know how to describe it. Actually, I can't believe my mom is gone. And for those that have gone through it, you get what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like I can't pick up the phone and call her.
yeah.
I don't know. But I'm not gonna bring down the whole
You're
show.
not. I'm gonna tell you the
My
realest
intent
thing.
was just to call and thank y'all.
Well, you're welcome. You didn't do nothing to bring nobody down or none of that. We've been waiting. You bring us down when we don't hear from you. We think you're not okay.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? We
yeah,
think you're not okay. So I think a
yeah,
lot of people are feeling better now that they heard from you. And it might be another week or two before you call again or anything. But the simple fact that you made and reached out to us, that lets us know that you okay. And just
yeah,
know this. What you feeling ain't gonna never really go away. It might feel better at due
yeah,
time. You know what I'm saying? To feel a little different, better, but it ain't gonna look. It ain't nothing wrong with missing mom. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. That means she did a great job. I know some people, and it's gonna be hard. I shouldn't say it. I can't. Some people don't care that they mama gone because they didn't have a mama. And that I don't
right,
mean that in a nasty way. I mean like their mom was not in their life. So when their mom passed on or whatever, it was just another day. See, your
right.
mom did such a great job that you're gonna miss her. You're supposed
Yeah,
to miss
it's
her.
just I could understand if she was sick, like long-term illness or something, and we could prepare for. Well, I don't know if you could ever prepare for it, but just like here today and gone in 11 days, and the last day I talked to her at 5 o'clock, and she was gone by 11 o'clock. There's just no explanation for me. I
Yeah.
just I have too many unanswered questions, but
Well, don't
I
be.
just walked in my house and my little puppy, he always greets me at the door and gives me love and makes me smile. So I'm smiling right
Well,
now.
there you go. Hey, I tell you what, sis, you always know that we here for you. We here if you have to, if you need a cry, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I got a towel right here, sis. It's all yours.
You always do.
It's
I
all
appreciate
yours.
you, Wyatt,
All
and you
right.
all. Thank you for your prayers.
All right, babe. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye
All right,
bye.
bye-bye. It's Tracy Dillingham, y'all. You know, it's what's crazy about that, what's wild about that situation is she had called and said, my mama in the hospital, she gonna be all right. Just we need some prayers. And we gave her that. You know, we prayed. And then she said something about her dad was in there too, and we kind of have fun with that. He gonna be who he gonna be. But see, all I can tell you is this. We never know when it's time for us to go. I never know. Y'all remember I told my daughters and my family, I told my wife, my daughters the other day, just the other day, I told them, I said, and I remind them, I say it probably almost every year, ever since my 40th birthday, every year. I tell them at dinner every year, my job as a man is to take care of y'all for our life. I just ask y'all to take care of me at the end of mine. That's the only thing I ask. Take care of me at the end, and I'll take care of you throughout the whole process of life. That's all I ask. And I say that every year for the last probably 15, 20 years of my life. I've always said that to my family at dinner. And it brings them down. They hate the shit. But that's okay. I say it because they never know when this might be my last birthday with them. You just never know. I mean, I feel like I'm in good health, but it ain't always that. You don't always have to feel great to have a bad day one day, and then that bad day turn into a much worse day. And then you just never know what's going to come after that. Hell, look at how many people died of COVID. Look at how many people died of the flu. Look at how many people die of something, they don't even see it coming. You don't have to be ill to be taken off this earth. I could wake up tomorrow, get in my car, head to the office, or, I have that's one of the conversations. I have a new office that I'm opening up. I can be on my way to that office and never make it and never have a conversation with my wife, my children, or any of that shit again. I can tell you one thing. They'll always say the same. They'll say, well, Daddy used to always tell us he was going to take care of us all the way up to this point. Now we got to take care of him. And that's just the mark that I want to leave. I want to be able to leave this earth and be able to say that I accomplished something. I left something here that was a contribution to this thing, to life, to this world. I mean, we all have a purpose. I may not be the big change, me, what I've done may not change the world, but maybe something that I created, being one of my children, will create something in this world that will create change. I don't know. Time to tell on that. Yeah, that's why I wasn't on yesterday. I know I mentioned it before because of my daughter. I get a little touched up when this death thing talks, because like I told Tracy, she'll never get over her mom being gone. You'll never get over it. You'll never get over it. There's one thing to be able to deal with the pain. There's one thing, it's still a fresh situation. You'll always remember the good times, the bad times. You just never get over it. Okay. But you deal with it better. That's all. You just deal with it better. It ain't like a divorce and shit. Some of y'all lose somebody you've been with for a long time. You divorce them and you get somebody new. Well, you can't go get a new mama. You can get people you love, but nobody will ever replace your mom, your grandmother. These are things these are irreplaceable things, people, situations, irreplaceable. So that all being said, man, where are my Cincinnati, Hamilton County taxpayers? I just got a question for you guys. Let me see what we got going on over on YouTube. Do we have any people on YouTube? Yes, we do. We got YouTube up, Wyatt Live, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and IG all up. Okay. So Tracy said her dad is good. Okay, good. I'm glad he's doing better. Okay. Jason Dockery says, I'm in Butler County. All right. Well, this is why I'm saying that. Shauna says Butler County. You guys are lucky. I live in Cincinnati. I don't really live in Cincinnati. I live in Butler County as well. However, I own property, commercial spaces and offices in Hamilton County. So what I'm about to talk about affects us all. Affects us all. So city council, city council, the same council that I've been talking about for all this time, took a vote today. Let me make sure I got that count right. 7-2 in Hamilton County on the tax. Here's the greatness of the English language. They consider it not to be a tax hike, but it's going to cost you more in taxes. English language. Oh, it's not a tax hike. It's just we didn't vote on the rollback. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world. Never claimed to be. But anytime something's going to cost me more, you can define it with any term you want. It's a hike to me. It's an up in cost to me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking at $39 per 100,000 of my property taxes going up in Hamilton County for my buildings. Every 100,000 that the building is worth, it'll go up $39 per year. They didn't mention the sewage going up either. So now where my chaos agents at? Because y'all remember back in November when I told y'all getting everybody you want in city council. You're getting everybody you want. I didn't have no problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it. But I expressed to you, I want the same energy for this council that look the way you want them to look when shit start going up, because it's going up. I want you to treat them just like you would treat any other politician. Just because they look like me don't mean they get an escape or a pass for my shit going up. Because if it was the other man, if it was them, you'd be doing what the radio say. The radio tell y'all Republicans are bad and nasty and ugly and they think crazy. I know y'all hear that shit every day. I get pissed off at it because they all do the same shit, but they only talk about one party. I ain't got no beef with nobody on the radios and podcasts and shit like that, but stop telling my people that only one party don't give a shit about them. Both parties are expensive to black people. Both parties are expensive to the middle class. Who do you think pays for those hikes and what you don't want to call a tax raise? Because you roll back. So for instance, I've been trying to figure out a way to make this make some sense to some people. Make this make sense to me. How is it that you've been paying somewhat of a levy, if you want to call it that, for 5 years? You're only responsible for paying it for 5 years. And then when the levy, let's say, is up, they're supposed to roll back the taxes to be able to go back to the original point of tax execution. But instead of rolling it back, they vote to leave it where it is so you don't get that rollback of deduction of taxes. And they call that not having a tax hike. It exactly is a tax hike. If you tell me we're going to pay a car off in 5 years and you send your last payment in and you didn't pay you paid $30,000 for it when it was priced. You didn't send 5 years worth of payments in. And then when you send that last payment, $500 in after 60 payments, which is what, 5 years. And then the bank call you and say, hey, Mr. Wyatt, I know you thought you just sent in your last payment, but you owe us another $1,200 on top of the price of the car. We just, we've been thinking, we thought about it, and we can't afford to sell it to you for what we sold it to you for. We know you paid it off, but you owe an additional $1,200. And then they say to me, Well, what we're going to do, instead of you paying $500, what we're going to do, or excuse me, your normal $500 a month payment, what we're going to do is we're just going to break that $1,200 up into a 1-year payment plan for you. And you can just send us $100 a month instead of the $500 you've been sending. Do I feel better because now I'm not paying $500 anymore? I'm only paying $100 and I only got to do it for 1 more year? Do I feel like I'm getting a $400 a month rebate on my payment? No, you motherfucker, you just charged me $1,200 more for some shit you told me was $30,000. I paid $7,000 in interest. You got $37,000. Now you want another $1,200. You break it up into 12 payments of $100 a month, and you think I feel good about that? Tricks for what do they call that shit? Tricks are for kids. Tricks ain't just for kids. Tricks is not just for kids. Tricks is for people that really fall for shit like that. So you telling me that now that we didn't pay off what we were supposed to pay off, that we can't get that rollback because everything else is too expensive? Now we got to keep that tax hike. You could call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it a non-rollback. You can call it it's not a tax hike. I just know that I'm paying $39 more for every 100,000. And see, $39, you got to understand something for me. You got to understand something. One thing in negotiations when you're dealing with money is always use the small denomination. What sounds less? $30 a month or $1 a day? If you're trying to sell somebody on something and it's $30 a month, what sounds more reasonable to a person? Oh, it's only $30 a month. You think of $30 a month not being a lot of money, and then you start adding up all your other cables and all this old shit and this and that, the tax, this, that. How many $30 a month can you stand at one time? But then when they break it down to you and they say it's only $1 a day, then you start thinking about it. Shit, I can do $1 a day. That ain't shit. I got about $30 in my. I can do it. I can do $30 a day. That ain't shit. That's for people that don't really negotiate, that don't get it. You trying to break somebody down on something, break it down in increments. Break it down from being 30 days to how much it'll cost them a week, and then from a week to a day, and watch how that shit work out. $100 a month? Well, I'm sorry, $30 a month? Oh, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That's 32. That's $12. You know, that ain't nothing. How much is that a week? $8 a week or some shit like that? $7.50 a week? You can't pay $7.50 a week? All right, try this one on. Damn, bro, I know you can spend $1 a day. See, that's all you do in negotiations. You break the numbers down as small as increments as you possibly can to make it all make sense. So let's get back to this thing. I need all my chaos agents to make as much noise as you made at the last administration. And the beauty of having this show and having content is I can always roll back. I've been very consistent on the things that I say. Back in November, when the new council came in, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because your new council voted 7 yeses for this and 2 no's. It's funny how they escaped the fact that the one person that already had been saying, "No, I don't want this. I think that we should let this go through. The people are suffering enough, and we should maybe try this next year. Let's give it another year. Let's reduce these taxes and do what we said we were going to do." The only person that did that was a Republican white woman. Am I capping for it? No, I'm just speaking facts. Liz Keeney, I think, or what's her name? Liz Keenan, Liz Keenan, some shit like that. She the only one that said that. But now let's give credit to the Democrat Party as well, because there was one Democrat and one Republican today. Who was that? Greg Landsman. So Greg Landsman and Liz Keeney are the only two that voted for this thing to allow people not to pay the higher taxes on their property. They the only two. The other 7 are exactly who you wanted. Now, you can get mad at me all you want to, but I'm speaking facts. They the only ones that voted yes to cost you more. And I want to know what y'all going to say. I want to know what y'all going to say, because here's what happens. A lot of people going to say, well, that tax doesn't really hurt us because I don't own property. Well, yes, the hell it does. Because whenever you tax somebody who owns property, even if you don't own property, you're paying rent somewhere. Who do you think that cost passes down to? If they're going to go up on the water being the sewage in Cincinnati, and if you think they're going to go up on the taxes of the property on these people, and it's not going to come down and trickle down to you, you're crazy. So you can't have it both ways. Good people over on the D side, Democrat side, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that when they give tax cuts, it only go to the rich. And then when they tax people, you're going to tax the people that's rich so the poor people can have it easy. You can't have it both ways like that. It don't make sense, because whenever you tax somebody that the poor people depend on, when you tax the people that the poor people depend on, it trickles down to the poor people anyway. So now you got this single mom with 3 kids, maybe on Section 8 or whatever, paying affordable housing. You didn't tax the building that they live in, the dwelling, the house or whatever, apartment building that they live in. You didn't tax the landlord, the owner. What do you think's going to happen now? Oh, you don't think they can up your rent because their expenses go up. So if I'm going to Kroger's and buying apples for 25 cents, and I'm buying them from Kroger's for 25 cents, but the man that owns the apple tree is selling the Kroger's, they make the apples off the tree 25 cents. You think I'm still going to be able to walk in Kroger's and get a 25-cent apple? No, when the shit go up on Kroger, then it go up on me. Absolutely. The expense trickles down. That's this thing called capitalism. It's fair to make a profit. And whenever cost of doing business costs you more, you pass the expense on. We got margins out here. Now, I just want to know, you see how easy that flew under the radar for a lot of people? This is that put people in the place so it'll be a cushion fall once again. Now, I'm the only one that's going to say this, because don't nobody really want to talk about it. Don't nobody really want to tell the truth. I heard one lady today. I had to listen today. I heard one lady. She sounded like the lady that was, y'all know how we always got that one in our neighborhood that sit in the windowsill and all letting people business, and she's smart as hell and know everything. This lady called in and said, I don't know why we getting more taxes. Why are we paying more? I didn't vote those people in there to up my taxes. They wasn't talking like that before I voted for them. And now my taxes going up, and I ain't too sure that I'm going to be voting like that again. Now, I ain't mad at the lady for feeling that way. But those are some of the questions you might have wanted to be asking people from instead of being distracted of what people look like. But I understand. I personally don't take shots at these folks sitting in city council. You know why? Because I'm the only one that came on the air and said, be ready, because when shit start costing more, when things go up, I want y'all to have the same energy. And don't act like I didn't. Some of y'all remember the shows I was doing right back in November, that year that they all got voted in. And I was like, listen, I'm happy, but I want the same energy when the shootings on the street still happen. I want the same energy when people talking about what they doing, the shootings, the stealing, all the crime and shit. I want the same energy for the same city council. Y'all know I was saying that. And then I also said, now listen, don't get mad when things go up. Don't get amnesia like they're not doing business. I said things are going to go up. I said, I want to see the energy levels of people when these people on council have to do their job. And doing their job means sometimes things are going to get more expensive. I said that. Now, Where are all the chaos agents, or where are all the regular people that had all these outstanding things to say and felt so much better when this new administration was coming in? Where are you now? What's your temperature? How you feel? And don't say, well, shit, the shit don't matter to me. I don't own no property. That's on them. Well, wherever you live, if you live in Hamilton County, it's going to affect you, because it's not just homeowners now. The businesses, if you own a business, I own business. I own commercial spaces. So now what you think? I'm just going to take that L? I'm going to end up paying that extra money myself and not tell my people when it's time to renew? Hey, shit costing me a little bit more over here. Property taxes are going up. Sewage is going up. I got to charge more. And this is what I don't like about the radio folks. You push one side, the D's and the R's. You always talk about how dirty the Republicans are. And I have to say this. You always talk about how dirty and how they lie and they do this. But when your people, your party people that you represent do something, you can hear a fly pissing on Mars. It's that quiet. Y'all hear that? I hear that. I hear that fly. It's silent. Absolutely silent. When a 14-year-old gets shot and a 14 and a 19-year-old gets shot, it's silent. It's absolutely silent. When the mayor came in and was like, hey, I'm proof that you can be in Cincinnati, be a minority, and you can be anything and everything you want to be. Did he not say that the night that he won? I ain't mad at Aftab. I like him. I love the fact that he gave that acceptance speech, because it's the shit I've been saying. But a lot of people was hating on me when I say, oh, I love Cincinnati. Shit, you can do whatever you want to do and be whatever you want to be. I'm from 1335 John Street. I'm from Williamsburg, 25, all that shit. I'm from the gutter of everything about Cincinnati, and you can do anything you want to do. And when I say that, I'm an Uncle Tom house-ass Negro, which y'all call me. All that old shit, I'm all that. You didn't say that about the man that you voted for, who just said, hey, we got to get this tax money up. We can't do this rollback that the people are really due. We can't do that. Oh, didn't it hurt some feelings the night of his I'm the only one that heard it. I'm sorry. I'm the only, I guess I'm biased about certain situations. I'm the only one that heard that acceptance speech the night that the new mayor won. I was happy. And what really made me feel good is when he said what he said. He never said that during campaign, no. He never said you can be anything you want to be in the city of Cincinnati. He didn't say that shit till he won. I don't know how many people would have really appreciated that. I don't get, it don't work too well for me, Mr. Mayor. It don't work that well for me when I say shit like that. People think I'm crazy for feeling like you can actually do what you want to do. But you showed us your proof that you can be a minority in the city of Cincinnati, an Asian, and grow up to be anything you want to be. So I'll just leave that on the table for you to keep telling everybody. But I need all my people. And I mean, you know, you can get mad at me all you want to, but I'm just telling you facts. I'm telling you what happened. I'm telling you that I told you 2 years ago, or when the new administration came in, get ready. Because when the hikes come, I want to make sure your temperature, I want to make sure everything stay what it is. It's, you know, it's people right now that's logging off. There's people right now that don't really care. See, it's hard to tell people the truth. You know, you can strike interest and keep people, you can keep people's interest by lying to them. And I hate to say this, and this is going to make me sound like a liar, but unfortunately, people probably, you know, based on what I've seen in life, We rather be lied to than told the truth. A lot of people would rather live by lie than truth. Lie can be brutal. Excuse me, the truth can be brutal. Can be very brutal. Some people think I'm probably on some attacking shit. No, it's just time for me to get mine back. I told you I hit hard. I can hit it. I'll use a sledgehammer on an ant. It's just time for me to pay some of those chaos agents who was giving me a hard time a little pushback, because I accepted all the names that you called me when I was saying what I was saying. But everything that I said was going to happen is happening. And what I mean by that is crime didn't stop. We knew it wasn't going to stop, but I don't see the same people talking the same shit when it was happening 2 years ago. Same people ain't saying the same shit. Taxes are going up in Hamilton County, property taxes. So what do you think things going to happen in the store because I'm not paying extra on a pack of gum in the store, or my Snicker box in the retail store don't cost me more? I ain't going to go up on my price. You think the only thing that that affects the cost of goods is the cost of the good itself? You don't think the expenditure of being in business will up the price of their goods? You're a knucklehead if you think that. There's multiple things that up the price of goods inside a retail store. You think Kroger's bread is only going up because the cost of bread costs more to do? No. It costs more to ship it there. It costs more to house it there. There's multiple reasons of why things go up. I told y'all, the hardest people in this world, and not in this world, in the United States of America, the hardest survivor, I don't care what you say. You could say, oh, affordable housing people. You could say whatever you want to say. You could say rich people. Say whatever you want to say. The hardest people in the United States of America, who's getting hit the hardest in this country, is everyday working class, middle class people. We are the ones that pay all the tax burdens. We are the ones that finance all the wars. We are the ones that finance everything that this country gives away, supplies other countries, supplies its own citizens. The middle class pay more taxes than anybody. Now, that don't mean that the rich don't pay taxes. It don't mean that. And yeah, you can call me what you want to call me today because I feel like it. Let me tell you one thing I used to do. Boy, they're going to get mad at my ass when I tell you this piece of truth. Y'all know I told this story a couple years ago. It ain't a long story, but it's some true shit. Y'all know tax season coming up. Every time, right around this time of year, right around Christmas, a little bit after Christmas, I get in my jaws get tight. Because I remember a few years ago, I had to calm myself down. Because we all know what's coming when tax season comes. You didn't work your whole life, worked all year, put in overtime, work extra hours, you on salary. Tax season comes, you see somebody that work part-time, ain't really doing shit, ain't trying to do shit. And then when tax come, they get 5 bands because they got kids. 5,000, 6,000. Oh yeah, I get a little upset at that. Oh, call me selfish. Act like you ain't got no fucking feelings about that. And you get a little measly ass $662 and you feel like a champ. And you got people that's been working over at Amazon and they work 3-4 months out of the year and go back seasonal. And then at the end of the year, they get a tax check for $5,000 or $6,000. You can't tell me you don't feel like that's your money. You can't tell me that. Now, you can be all self-righteous and act like, well, you know, the babies, they got this and this, but you still got to look at the fact it's not that they get the money, it's what they do with the money. Let's be real. I seen somebody put a post up the other day saying, and I can't stand the fact that they put that post up there because it put me in my feelings a little sooner than I wanted to be in my feelings, damn it. Talking about tax season coming up. Here come all the dealerships and the bags and the belts and shit. As much as I wanted to ignore that post, I had to frown and my mouth would get all like this and Because when all my family members was getting 5 and 6 bands, I was stroking a check. I might as well just gave, to be fair, I would have just felt better if I would have gave each one of them 5,000. Let me give you 5,000, you 5,000, you 5,000. Mr. Government, I think I'm good. 5,000 now. That's my 20,000 I owe. Can I just give it to my family, my people? You giving it to them. And I'm not mad when somebody gets some money. It all depends on how you get it. That's real. I don't care. You can be mad at me if you want to. But you cannot tell me that you feel okay that you didn't pay $7,000 in taxes this year, and you get a little punk ass city tax check for $158, and then your income tax, if you lucky to get a check, you might only owe $600, $700, or you might get back $600 or $700. Of course, you would rather get back that. But let's be real. Right around February, people out here acting a fool with that income tax money. And you can't tell me you don't frown and you get up and go to work every day. And you wonder to yourself, why I ain't getting that? Why am I not getting it? My baby need a bedroom set. I could use some new furniture. My transmission went out in my car. And I get up and go to work every morning at 6:30 in the morning. I get out in the snow and go to work. Every day. I work on the weekends sometimes. I tell you right now, I think overtime money should be tax exempt. They'll never let somebody like me run. I could never be a politician. Shit would make so much sense. I think the government would go broke. It would go broke. Because there's just certain things. I've been telling y'all for a long time how to equal out your taxes. Now, people gonna hate on me for saying this shit, especially the government. But there's a thing that you can do at your HR department. I done told you about the 401k reduction for the last 2 years that you should have did. Y'all ain't listened to me on that. That's why your 401ks are suffering 20%, anywhere from 20 to 27% of losses right now. That puts you on scale to work another 5 to 6 years past your retirement. But I don't know shit. So now let me just say this to you. There's also a way that you can off-scale your taxes. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm not a tax accountant. Don't play one on the radio or none of that shit on the podcast, none of that. I've just learned from a few people. And I don't mean people like right around the corner. I don't mean Miss Bertha and them. I'm talking about some people that really know how to move something. And that is, hey, sometimes you can get a check that's tax exempt from your job. Anybody ever done that? Anybody ever went to HR? Now I'm about to get a lot of people like really going here. Anybody ever went to the HR department and told them, hey, go to payroll and tell them, hey, I need my check. I need my next week check or the check after that, whatever your payment schedule is. I need that check to be tax exempt. They can't tell you no. They could tell you, well, we can't do it this time because we're not really prepared to do that and all that. No, they can exempt taxes out of your check. You can go into your HR department, into payroll, and tell them, hey, check number 27 this year. For this year, I need check number 8, 16, and whatever Christmas. Let's say check number 49 or 50. I need those checks throughout my year to be tax exempt. So instead of them taking out all the shit, all the taxes and all that, you get a full check. Now, at the end of the year, you just got to balance it out. But they'll do it for you because they know how much you got paid. And then when you go get your taxes done, you would have gotten more cash in hand. You might end up owing, but you probably was going to owe anyway. But you got to learn how to balance it out where you're not going to owe that you might just break even. You just got to know how to balance it out the right way. I know it sounds like some work and it's a little bit more than what a lot of people want to do. But if you really want to take care of if you want to control your money and you touch your money first, sometimes you got to touch your money first. See, it ain't nothing like second money. That's like the government. They get your tax money. They get your money before you do. That's why they can do what the fuck they want to do with it. You have no say so. They can build a bridge. They can give it to a cause. They can give it to Ukraine. They can do it. They can finance a war. They can do whatever they want to do with your money. You know why? Because they get it first. Throw a party. Let's throw one of them dollar parties. I DJ it. Who working the dough? Whoever working the dough, get that money first. Yeah, we had 200 people in here. It was full. The dough say we made 125. Remember Harlem Nights? When Eddie went off on Vera, on Big Mama, who was running the girls. The girls always coming up shout. The girls always coming up shout. Because Vera seen the money first. First one touch the money dictates what the money look like. So always remember that. This is why I always try to tell people like, hey, listen, let's control the gross. Anybody understand when I say let's control the gross? Y'all know my people. I love my people to control their own gross. And I mean my people being Wyatt Live. My Asians on here, my Jewish people, my blacks, my whites, and my Latinos, and whatever race that you didn't describe yourself to be. You just maybe look like one of them. I love you too. But we got to learn how to control our gross. You know what it means to control your gross? That means to touch the money first. The gross is what you take in. Y'all heard me say that before, right? Or did I just dream that one day and thought I said it? I put a post out that said, control your gross. I remember that. It's important that we control the gross. Be the first one to touch your money. All I can tell you is get ready. Your taxes going up in Hamilton County. I love the people that say, but you don't even live in Hamilton County. I heard that before. Somebody was yelling and mad at me because I was going in on the school. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, partner. I can say whatever I want to say about Cincinnati Public Schools. Because I bet you one thing for sure. I bet I pay more taxes to Cincinnati Public School than you do. I may not live in Cincinnati Public School District. I may not live in Hamilton County and pay sales tax as a resident, but I got real estate in Hamilton County, and I have just as much. I can contribute to the conversation just as much as anybody that has a student in Cincinnati Public School. You don't think a person that's helped paying for the shit can have any input? Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. If I'm paying for it, I should have something to say about it. The only people that think that you shouldn't have nothing to say about what you pay for was ladies. If I buy you a car, you can't tell me how to drive it. That's how y'all feel. If you buy me something, you can't tell me what to do with it. You just wanted to trap me and put me in this. That's how y'all get about shit. You just bought me this to control me. Some of y'all don't think that shit funny because you know that's how you are. And there's men that actually do shit like that. It's raggedy to me. But there's guys that actually buy you shit just so he can control you. You're right. But not all of y'all should be hollering like that. That all being said, I'm just going to ask my chaos agents, I need y'all to raise your hand one at a time. Who all feel good about this shit? And have you fallen victim, of believing that this is a rollback? You don't see it. It's not a tax hike, Wyatt. Come on, man. It ain't no tax hike. This ain't no tax hike, man. Don't even perp it off like that. You know how I know it ain't? You know how I know they're going to be like that? Because it make them look stupid when they got to tell it for what it really is. I'm talking about the people that supported the situation. I'm talking about the people, the people that voted. You feel like a damn fool right now if the person that you voted for voted yes on upping your taxes or voting yes for the rollback to be held up. I know I would. I know I didn't. Like the old lady said, I don't mean to call her, she was older than me. She sounded very smart, and she said it. I didn't put them people in there to up my taxes. I didn't put them people, as she said everything except I didn't put them people in there that look like me. I didn't put them in there so they could say yes to cancel a rollback on taxes. Alicia Reese is the only one I've ever heard say some shit that was the realest in the world. And she said some shit like, I want to give Cincinnati property owners, I want to give Hamilton County property owners a rebate on taxes. I said, where do I vote for her at? Where the hell can I check a box? They might catch me on voter fraud. I'm voting for her 5 times. They just got to catch me. Where do I vote for her at? Because she talking the shit I need to hear. But you keep on listening to people that push those narratives of how evil one side is. Oh, they just evil. They nasty people. They don't care nothing about the people. All they believe in is keeping people rich. Well, let me just say something about that. And I know y'all hear it. A lot of people that watch this show listen to that shit. Let me say something to you about this. I don't know where planet, what city, what earth you live on, where you believe that shit is free. But best believe somebody's going to pay for the free shit. Somebody's always got to pay for the free shit. And I hate to tell you, but the free shit is always paid by drum roll, please. The middle class, the tax-paying people. It's never free. It's never free. It always sounds free because that's the easiest sell. You can sell anybody on free. Shit, I know dudes right now give free concerts in the park. Can't sell a ticket when they do a concert that cost. They'll sell out a free concert. Shit. They have 3,000 people in the building when it's free. And then you got 300 when you got to get $10, $20, $30 from people. A little bit different world when you got to put a price tag on some shit. These are the questions. Instead of asking shit like this, and y'all know I'm about to get some heat for this. But I think I'm in a position to be able to justify why I feel the way I feel. A lot of people ain't going to like this. But when people ask the questions like on platforms and they shit like, when they ask questions like, what's the black agenda? When they ask a politician that's running, like they really going to tell you some shit like, I ain't got a black agenda. I mean, they ask white candidates and black candidates this. It's the worst question you can ask a politician because you're asking them to lie to you. I mean, it's so dishonest. It's so dishonest to ask a politician, what's your black agenda? You might not see it that way, but I clearly see it that way because they all have an answer. Shit, Donald Trump had an answer for the black. He had a black agenda. Biden had a black agenda. Your politicians right now who you ask on podcasts and on radio, what's your black agenda? They all gave you an answer. Some of them couldn't answer it, and them the ones you went hard in on. You'll go hard on a motherfucker that can't answer the question because they don't really have one, but you won't say anything to the person that gave you an answer but didn't live up to it. Now, how fucking backwards is that? You're going to sit back. So all you really got to do is put your black agenda on your website and not really be true about it. But if you're a candidate, I heard people getting sliced up because when you ask a question to a candidate, what's your black agenda? Now, black folks, bear with me a little bit. I'm not trying to say that a black agenda is not necessary. I'm saying that it's a false hope. It's a promise that's made that's never put in place. So why even ask it? You're asking for somebody to lie to you, especially if you're not going to hold them accountable. Now, let me ask you something. Y'all might not understand. You might not agree with me. You may not agree with me on this, but who do you think in Hamilton County we ain't going to call it a tax hike. We're going to play the game. We're going to play the word games that they use. I know Republicans are the only ones that lie all the time. I know that because you've been taught that every day. But let me just ask you this question. And you can give me your honest opinion. This is an opinion. Who do you think will be affected the most with this non-tax hike, but higher price in taxes? Okay. I mean, and it's redundant to say that, but it is what it is. They defined it that, not me. Who do you think is going to be affected the most in Hamilton County by this price hike? Excuse me. I call it a price hike because it is. I don't want to call it a tax hike. But who's going to be hurt? Who's going to be hurt the most for this non-rollback of tax? Who's going to be hurt the most? I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. Oh, and I understand. I even understand some things that they may think I don't know. Well, they understand an income tax is one of the tax baiting bases that the city needs in order to continue to do what they do. Y'all know what I'm saying? They say things like, well, everybody's staying home. You got so many people working from Zoom and working out of the office now that they're not paying city taxes anymore. Make sure your check. Make sure your check. Please, guys, I don't get a check like that. But I'm asking you for the argument's sake. I wish people wouldn't have fell off. They need to hear this. I'm asking you for your sake. Look at your payroll tax check from Hamilton County, if you live in Hamilton County, and tell me if you're not paying income tax because if you work at home. If you're home, if you work out of home, at an office at your home, if you're not working in the office anymore, I need you to tell me that you're not paying income tax anymore. You're not paying income tax because you're not working in the office anymore. I need to see that. Because what they're saying is people that work from home aren't contributing to the tax pool anymore. They're not paying income tax. They're not paying city workers tax or whatever it is. It's a form of tax that they're not paying because you're working at home now. I need to see that. They're saying that the funds are not as high. They're not taking in as much money. Income tax and property tax is where they make most of their money from. So with people working at home now, they're missing out on money. So in order to get that money back, they're canceling a rollback tax, which means it would have reduced us, or, it wouldn't have cost us more. We would have been able to go back to the original tax that we were paying. They decided to go up to go pay for something. Now that thing is paid for, now they want to cancel that rollback to be able to make up for what they're losing for people staying at home. That's the explanation. To me, that's a tax hike. Say what you want to call it. Once I pay my car off, some people just got here. They think I'm flip-floating. I'm losing my mind. Once you pay that car off, you send 60 payments in. I don't want to hear, oh, wait a minute, the price of that car then went up. We paid off our debt. Go back to the original tax. I don't want to hear that the dealership costs more now and they got new light bulbs and they got new people in there and they put new chairs and all that old shit. We need an additional $1,200 so we can start paying that shit off. No, we made a deal. I paid $30,000 plus the $7,000 in interest. I can't help you pay for nothing else at this point. Make it up somewhere else. Cut your salary. Cut some unnecessary bullshit ass service y'all got. Why does the Hamilton County taxpayers always have to take on the burden? You got programs that are not needed. I know a lot of people gonna be like, but yeah, we got a whole lot of programs that are needed. These kids this, the kids that, the kid this. You got a whole lot of shit that you just you burning money. There's programs out here that's not needed. And see, what happened is y'all talk y'all way into them programs. See, let me just say this to you. And I know I'm going to get some flack for this one. You know who can spend money better than anybody? Don't say ladies going shopping at the mall. I got one that's even worse than that. You know who spend money more than anybody? A person that's spending somebody else's money. See, when you don't understand how this tax structure work, when you just sitting at home and you say, well, they need this and they can use this and the drop-in center this and we got this, we can send this money to the little girls of the poor and the little boys of the poor. When you looking at all of that, there's certain things that need to be taken care of, but you always lose track of whose money you spending. You only look at the fact that they getting money, or you look at the fact that you got this thing right here getting $200,000 a year that the city is giving money to. You don't even know if them programs are operating properly because you never chose them. The money, they getting $100,000 to go to this particular surplus, to go to that surplus, to go to this. They didn't spend $2-3 million on some shit. You don't even know that they funding these programs. But yet the way they make up for that money is to charge us, taxpayers. They start making it up just like what they're doing right now. The proof is on the wall. You can't get any more proof than what I'm laying out here for you right now. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, it took what we just passed November now. So it was last November. Hasn't this particular council been in for a year now? It's been a year as of November, right? And last year of November, I was saying when this moment comes up, you better stay with that same energy of what y'all was saying about the last administration. Or since now you voted in everybody that you want, don't get mad when shit start costing more money because they got to do their job. They got to do their job. Yeah, China, she says, I always wondered how the streetcar was free. Think about that shit. It was never free. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it. Who money did they use? Taxpayers. This is the difference between people who really think that one group of people is always doing some mean and evil shit. One group of people actually fucking count out here, count the money before they spend it. The other groups just spend shit because it's there. You got responsible spenders and you got some that just don't give a shit. Now, you could break down, you could put a D and an R on whatever you want to put it on. But the truth of the matter is nobody spends money better than, or not better, but no one spends money, burn it and do it bad or do it worse than somebody that's spending somebody else's money. You can believe that if you want to. You can disbelieve it if you want to. Take it for whatever it's worth, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You ever have somebody tell you what you should be doing with your money? I get that a lot. And it's always coming from somebody that ain't really got none. And I don't mean that nasty. I'm just saying they got the best and the greatest ideas in their mind. Calculate your own and do that with your money. Don't spend mine. And half the time when they want you to do something with your money, you didn't already tried it with a couple people just like that person. They just happened to be the unlucky one. And you just finally came to your senses and was like, I ain't gonna do that. It ain't because you don't like them. It's because you learned off of two knuckleheads right before them. You learned already not to be dealing with people like that. I know this wasn't an easy one to hear. I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't an easy one to hear about that, about this tax thing. But I want to know why the chaos agents are so quiet. Mainly because a lot of them feel like it ain't hit them yet. Or if they have to answer the question, they kind of have to question themselves. Like, damn, I never knew. See, this is why you'll never rock me to sleep to vote for somebody. I'm going to tell you another thing that's coming to truth. It's coming to truth, and nobody said anything about it. Y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but you need to hear it. Cincinnati Public Schools, I've been telling you it's a disaster. It ain't because of the kids. It ain't because of it ain't that I have a problem with the kids. I don't have a problem with the teachers. I just know that they use certain people so you don't question certain things. And it's happening right before your eyes. Do you know what the grading system looks like for CPS right now? Do you know they have a grading system between the mark of 1 and 5? 1 being the worst, 5 being the greatest. And do you know Cincinnati Public School is below average on everything, 3 being the average number, and they're not hitting a 3 on anything? For graduation, they're at a 1. For standardized testing, they're at a 2. They below average on everything. And here's what nobody ever said. The lady that was there before, the lady that's there now, African-American woman, that's what I call us black people. Nobody said a word. No one said that lady left this shit with holes in it. Nobody said that she left it with disaster. You won't criticize her. And that's why they got another one that looked just like her in there, because you're not going to criticize her. You'll sit back and give her every excuse, like I'm going to jail. You'll give her an excuse for everything. She ain't been in there long enough. Give her time. Well, the one that was in there before her had plenty of time to make it where it is today. The person that's in there now, I don't know her, so I can't attack her personally, but you didn't come from an award-winning program. You came from a program just like what you inherited. I would never hire a coach from a team that ain't won nothing. If I want a better team and an improved situation, I got to go get a winner. I got to go get somebody that's above the averages where they are. And the only reason why y'all not criticizing them is because you feel like it's a personal attack when it's business. And you don't know how to separate your emotions from business. I don't want my kids being dealt with or in a situation where there's so much emotion that they not getting the proper care. That don't make sense to me. And you accept it. You accept it. That's being used. This is where somebody told me I get preachy. No, I just say the shit that you ain't used to hearing. I say the shit that you say amongst your family at the kitchen table. I say it right here. I say the shit that you ain't brave enough to say amongst those circles of people in your city. I say it here. Y'all always capping for these motherfuckers. And then wonder why everything stay the same. I say what I say because I love hard. Now, you can call me whatever you want to call me. But what I'm telling you has been evolving for decades. You ain't said nothing about how that lady left the CPS in disaster. You ain't said nothing about the truancy. You know what you'll talk about? I heard them maybe say something today, but I remember hearing them all the time talking about how black kids in Cincinnati Public School are punished more than the white kids. They punish more than anybody. Well, do the math, damn it. Do the math. Cincinnati Public School is 74% black. So you want the other, 26% to be penalized or to be disciplined more than the 74? That makes sense to you? You want it to be equal? How the hell 26% ever going to equal anything of the 74%? How you going to do that? And you will concentrate on how we more punished than anybody in CPS when we 74%. You won't concentrate on the fact that black men go to jail more than black women, and we got them out ratioed 6-1. Now do the math on that shit. Equalize that, carry the 1 over to the 2 and all that old shit. Do that division, trigonometry, all that shit together. Figure that one out. Sitting back concentrating on CPS treating black kids worse than white kids. That's what we gonna zoom in on? When they gotta, do the math on this one. Look at the truancy rate of Cincinnati Public Schools. They had over 1,000 kids truant. Let's just do that. It was over 1,000, but let's use 1,000. Take 1,000 kids out of CPS that have been truant. Do the math. Break it down equationally. How many of them were black? How many of them were Hispanic? How many of them was other, Asian, all that old shit? Break it down. Do the math on that. Out of 1,000 kids in CPS that were truant, how many of them do you think was black? Somebody put the number up. I know it's just an educated guess, but out of 1,000 kids at CPS that have been truant over the year, how many of them do you think, with a CPS ratio of 74% black, how many of those 1,000 kids do you think were black versus another? Versus white, Hispanic, Asian, or whatever? Would you say easily 50%? And that's giving it love. That's giving it love. Valerie Davis says 700. That would be 70%. So now if you look, even let's just use your number for the hell of it. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to say what I got to say, and I'm going to say how I feel. It's higher than that. I don't know that for a fact. My opinion is it's higher than 700. So if you're doing the math of how black kids get disciplined in Cincinnati public schools, just your math right there makes it a legitimate discipline. They're supposed to get disciplined more. It's more of us. The math shows that it's going to probably be more. We fighting why they got SROs and shit. We wondering and talking about this old shit, prison pipeline. Every school in America is designed the same way. They're architected that way. It's an institution. Schools are institutions of learning. Prisons are institutions of rehab. Institutions have a form, a confirmation, they're formed a certain way of steady traffic. It's done that way on purpose, but only a certain mind could be so cynical to say my school is a prison pipeline because it looks just like a jail. That's where our energy go. We ain't saying shit about the superintendent who was there. We ain't focusing in on the shit that really, really matter. We ain't asking, where are the parents? We're not asking, how are the daycare programs the preschool programs prior to kids entering Cincinnati public schools? And now let me ask y'all a question like this, because I got a friend of mine, a good friend of mine who lives up in Cleveland, and he happens to be a principal at an inner city school, elementary school, guy I went to college with. And I'm not going to say his name because he watched the show sometime. But he tells me all the time the shit that his parents, that his teachers have to do for these kids. And it's over and beyond teaching. Some of these kids come to school, don't have no socks, don't have no underwear on. It's freezing outside. Some of these kids come to school with 2 jackets on, 2 little windbreaker jackets, no coat. Some of these kids come to school, you can tell they ain't took a bath in days. Some of these kids come to school and they're just not ready to be in the grade that they're in because they're not getting work at home. They're not being, the parents not working with them at home. You got to learn. So, see, a lot of kids learn different. Some grasp it right on the spot. Some got to take the homework home and get help working on the homework. All I can say to you is this, and this is going to be very cold, and some people are going to be like, oh, this is why I don't mess with this dude. This is the coldest thing in the world that I can possibly say, but it's the truest. Parents, future parents. It's too late if you're already a parent. Future parents now tell your kids this. Stop having children if you're not ready to have kids. Because it's not just being able to get them clothes. It's not just being able to make sure that they eat a meal every day. It's not making sure that they have a warm home and a house to come to every day. There's more to parenting than just providing things. There's a lot more to it than that. You got to be able to give them what you think they already getting somewhere. And you got to be able to know if what they getting somewhere, what they getting somewhere else is right. You got to make sure that it's enforced in their mind. A kid could learn ABCs at school and get stuck in the middle of his ABCs, and the teacher got to move on. He got a classroom full of other kids. You got to be at home and make sure that your kid got the ABCs from the beginning to the end. You got to make sure of that. You got to make sure that your kid is doing his homework. You can't wait to let your kid take their homework to school and get it graded. You should be able to look at their homework and feel good about your kid taking that homework to school. Oh, you're going to get a good grade on this one because I checked it. Not did it for them, checked it. If you're not ready to do that as a parent, let's stop having children. See, this is what a lot of people don't talk about, because that's me being judgmental and all this old one shit. No, here's what you need to hear, because you know what? There's a group of people out here that's getting tired of taking care of people's kids that don't take care of their kids. There's a world out here that's getting tired of dealing with your shit that you drop off on other people. And when I say your shit, I don't mean your kids. I mean your irresponsible behavior. The things that you don't take care of that you're supposed to be taking care of. There are a group of people out here that's getting tired of taking care of that shit. It's expensive. And it's not just money that it's costing us. It's costing us our kids too. Because you don't handle your kid, the one that's going to end up doing something to a kid that may not have nothing to do with that lifestyle. I'm never going to say that, Davis Denise. Upbeat Think says, stop having sex. Davis Denise said, I want to hear you say stop having sex. That's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you need to start having sex more responsibly. Joe Widow, what's good, bro? I can't be somebody that's going to tell us to stop having sex. I can't do that. I mean, I could. It's not genuine of me. And y'all know I got to keep it 100. I'm not going to ever tell people not to have their fun or whatever they want to call it. I say that you have to be more responsible in what you're doing. It's like anything else. I don't believe in drinking, but I'm not going to tell people not to go out and have a good time on the weekend and have them a drink. I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be genuine of me. I don't drink, but I'm not going to tell people not to go have a drink. Let's take a phone call. Hold on one second. Good evening, caller. Are you there?
I am. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going? What's good with you, brother?
All is fair. All is well. I'm fair for a square. This is Fame Rothstein.
Hey, Fame.
AKA Michael Snackson. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing today, brother? Good to hear from you.
It's even better to hear from you. I was just sitting here minding my black ass business, and just listening to the show. Then I heard that your principal friend up there belly aching.
He's not belly aching, bro. He what? You know what?
He is.
No. Let me tell you, Fame. Really, bro. Real talk. He wasn't belly aching. What he was doing was feeling sorry for the situation. He was feeling really sorry that he had those situations going on in his district. That what he. I promise you, he wasn't like talking about them. It was really like you know what I'm saying, Fame? He was really not feeling good about the situation them kids were in because of, some of the things their parents was doing.
Teaching is a labor of love. You love the children every minute for everything that they're about, whether they dirt broke and fucked up and can't read, or they but you love children.
Hey, Fame, can you say that again, bro? You felt you came out a little bit. You logged out.
Hold on. I know what's going on. Give me 3. Good God. Is that better?
A little bit. Yeah, it's coming through a little better.
Is that better?
Yep, that's it. Oh, then he gets cut. I promise you I didn't hit a button, Fame. Call back. He cut himself off. Call back, Fame, if you can. Let me read a couple comments. Davis Denise says, you get kids from sex. Yeah. You do. Anthony Process says, Wyatt, still to the topic. Leave the alcohol alone, bro. Yeah. I mean, stick to the topic, maybe. I don't know. Let me see. All right, there's Fame calling back. Fame, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can, bro. That's so much better. I didn't hit a button, bro. You just fell off.
No, yeah, that was probably me trying to, Bluetooth. I forgot it was still in my ear.
Okay.
But as I was saying, you're supposed to love every fiber of the children and not really. It's kind of like being in the mob. You don't really complain to outsiders about it because they're not teachers. They'll never understand what you're going through. So to me, it just sounds like he's belly aching. I mean, not to get at your mans. I know that's your mans, and go back 30, 40 years.
No, not necessarily that. If he was wrong, I would be like, oh, he tripping. But I think what the approach that he's coming from, Fame, is it's the condition that the kid is put in. It's not that he feels like the kid shouldn't be there or no shit like that. I understood what he's saying. And I
He
think
sound like he need to be a social worker as opposed to being a teacher.
oh, Fame, you gotta see the shit though, bro. You gotta admit, like when kids are coming in.
I was a teacher for several years.
Well,
I know what they're going through.
Well, then you should understand, bro, the feeling of seeing kids come to school unprepared for life, for not being able to deal with weather conditions, not having lunch money, not being able to do the things that other kids can do. And it's because of how they're being brought into this world, bro. That's a serious problem. It's not the kid's fault. Nobody's blaming the kid.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying a couple weeks ago about not buying your kids no Spider-Man's or Incredible Hulk shoes, buying them Jordans, because of the social aspect of schooling.
Where you going with this, man? I don't even understand that shit, what you just said. What the fuck you talking about?
Man.
Where you at with it? I'm saying you said something like Spider-Man and Jordan. I'm just saying
I told you I was chilling. I'm gonna let the show ride today. You know what I'm saying? I was just chilling, and then you kind of like touched the nerve talking about principal friend, because some of these black principals they're about as bad as black preachers.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
They're in over their heads. They've been toothless tigers the whole damn time. Because the district just wanted a black teacher in the building, and then they elevate him to principal when he's not really ready for that. This guy, your friend sounds like a social worker as opposed to a building administrator.
So his concern for his kids and the lack of things that they have to be prepared for school makes him sound like a social worker, not a concerned principal. You sound crazy as hell, bro.
Because a good teacher would meet them where they're at and can mitigate through all that bullshit. Your parents are dope heads. You come to school cold and hungry. A good teacher can negotiate through all that and still reach the kid on his subject.
You sound crazy as hell. Man, you sound crazy as fuck.
He calls his radio show host buddy and complains.
No, he didn't do that. We had boy. This is my partner type conversation, bro. It's the same shit like when I was growing up, when I would see the little kid that come to school smelling like piss every day. That's the same little kid. Now, those are the kids that get picked on in school, and somebody need to be handling that at their house. And when somebody at the school don't take concern, then that kid get picked on by other kids. Now, whose responsibility do you think it is to take care of that child if he's in a vulnerable position to be picked on by the other kids? You don't think that school teacher or that principal should have something to say about that?
No, that's the school board's job.
School board?
No bullying to the policy.
Fame, is that all you got, bro? You sound crazy as hell today. You didn't have a few?
No, man, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, I can't be outside the box like you be.
No, not today, because the shit sound crazy, G.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm dead serious.
Hey, Fame, I ain't got nothing but look, bro. That type of stuff. Bro, listen, let me just say this to you, and you can have the floor after this. Bro, I ain't got nothing but love for you, right? You know that. But today, just like any other day that you think when I'm off base, you tell me, damn, G, you off your fucking rocker today, G. I don't know what you over there smoking. What's in your cup, Wyatt? What's over there in your cup? That you over there on some different shit today. I don't know where you coming from with it. I guess on another day.
Like hearing teachers complain. I think it's bullshit. I hate hearing the teachers are well compensated.
You take what he said as a complaint.
Teachers are well compensated.
Wait a minute, hold on, Fame. Because my
they
partner,
got plenty of off time.
Okay,
they got more off time than anybody. They got as much off time more than anybody except for a professional athlete.
You're right. They get paid for nine months out of the year. What that got to do with what these kids coming to school looking like?
Yeah, what's that got to do with him complaining to his radio host buddy? Fix it, nigga. You're the principal.
Well, see, Fame, you got
a clothing drive or something.
Right, and that's what they do. But that don't fix the problem at home. It really don't. Look, you can't put a band. No, Fame, let me tell you what you're doing. Let me tell you what you're doing.
A self-fulfilling prophecy saying that you'll never make it anywhere because your parents ain't giving you draws to wear to school.
Say that. You said, you said, man, don't make me laugh about something this damn serious. You can't be serious.
Like somebody, he sounds like a white teacher that talks to the little black kids at the hood schools with that same bullshit with self-fulfilling prophecies.
Fame, you
about
are
the kids can't do this and can't do that because they hungry, because they this, they that, they whatever.
Okay.
All that old monkey ass shit.
Fame. Today
he sound like he's a dog.
Today
in the prisoner pipeline.
Oh my God. Okay, Fame. Today it's official. It is actually Fame. You have done something that I never thought I would say.
What's that, B?
Today is December the 14th. Fame Rothstein has just officially Fame Rothstein has officially become a chaos agent for the bullshit he talking today.
Hell no.
You are officially a chaos agent for saying every reckless thing that just came out your damn mouth today. Stamping.
Is it just because it's your band?
Stamping. No, I go for any. I would.
Is it because
bro,
it's your man?
I would say that to any
Come on
principal.
now.
No, most principals would have never told me. That's why I said I won't say his name on the air. But most principals would have never said.
Most principals know that this is a school issue.
It's not a school issue. It's a parent issue.
As a leader of children, as a steward of children, I need to find a way to handle this.
Boy,
instead of complaining to my friend 4 hours away hosting a podcast.
And let me tell you something. His point was very much made when he said what he said, because these kids are not, if they're not prepared when they come to school, how much preparation are they getting when they're not away from school to deal with life? That's a parent dumping off their kid to the school system and saying, hey, make my kid productive. Schools are only, you was a teacher, schools are only supposed to teach you ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's up to parents to teach them morals and respect and honor.
Well, those parents are not showing them morals, respect, and honors, because showing up is half the battle.
Really, Fame? Really, Fame? So the school,
Wyatt,
so a kid
is the best ability availability?
Is what? The best ability,
the best ability availability.
Not all, no. Because let me tell
at school to learn.
I know, Fame.
Not for you to give, not for teachers to give pity on them.
I got this. Fame, you sound crazy as hell. I'm about to make this up to you. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you.
Who over there trying to rush me?
I'm about to tell you something, bro. You just made a point. Okay. You just made a point, but I got to put some sugar in your point, right? I got to mix up the Kool-Aid a little bit. When you say availability is the best, what did you say? You said availability is what?
The best ability is availability.
That's not true. Want me to tell you why?
Okay.
Because a kid show up to school hungry, show up to school not prepared to learn. He or she is not there. They're available to be there, but they're not in the right frame of mind, and they're not in the right condition to be where they are. So what you just said.
They're at home not eating, so they come to school and eat.
No.
The best ability is availability. You're available at school. We can nourish you a little bit.
Oh, you sound crazy as hell, bro. I can't believe you taught our kids for what, 6 months? How long was you a teacher? They didn't keep your ass there long, did they? Tell the truth. How long were you a teacher? Oh, you heard me. You heard. How long were you? Okay, How long were you a techer, Fame?
Wait, who said 6 months?
I said 6 months. It sounded like you stood in for about 6 months.
No, 5 years.
Okay.
You know, I probably was still. We probably never met. You know, if I wouldn't have slapped a parent.
Oh, see, there we go. It's all starting to come clear to me now, brother. It's all coming clear to me. You slapped the parent.
Teacher, but still mad niggerish. We're not gonna sit up here and, you know, whether it was a hood school or a rural school. I was mad niggerish with mine, but every year my test scores went up. Like I was doing everything I needed to do.
Well, let me just say this to you, brother. If I have a personal conversation with a guy who happens to be in a position of authority, if I relay some of the information that he said to me, that don't necessarily mean that he would say it on a platform and say it in a malice kind of way. When he shared this,
that doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
Belly aching about his job like everybody else does.
No.
The kids are not, my nigga. Get out the game.
You got to understand, Fame. It's not that he didn't love the kids. Maybe he has so much love for the kids that saying something is showing the concern, not just doing something, sometimes making the point of bringing awareness to the stuff. You can't
Then
say
that's
because
what social workers do.
what?
Go get the kids and make sure they ain't hungry.
Oh
make sure
my
they
God.
ain't doing this and not.
So Fame, you saying that he don't enjoy his job? He shouldn't even
Half
be in that
hours a
position
day.
because he had a one-on-one conversation with me about how some of the kids show up for school and not. I bet you the only. Is there anybody out here in this world that agrees with how Fame is approaching this? I mean, if so, let me know.
I don't care. I don't care
No,
if any of your
no,
listeners
no.
agree or not,
It's
because
not.
I'm
It's
the
not.
one and only Fame.
That's
I'm,
true.
you
That
know,
is true.
there was none before me, and there will be none to come.
No,
You
bro.
know, the pleasure is your listeners' pleasure.
Let me just say this though, bro. You are now working to not only being a chaos agent, but a fucking official, like a VP of the chaos agent. You working into being the higher ups on this conversation, bro. You working into you about to get a medal.
You see my Instagram? I'm official like a ref with a whistle. But the point is, there's no need to talk about the kids like that if you ain't doing nothing steadfast to fix it.
Okay.
You sound like a social worker. These kids are so poor. They don't come to school. They don't come to school prepared. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. What kind of like that?
Oh
I'm
my
assuming
God.
this is a black man, right?
Yeah, he a brother. He a brother who
Yeah,
grew
what
up
kind of nigga talk like that?
who grew up just like me. Don't put look. Don't put words in my man's mouth though. He ain't say it all like that and was crying like you crying. He ain't do all that. He ain't do all that. He was just telling me from a personal.
It's not what I said. It's just that it was directed at your mans and no. I get it, Wyatt. You're very protective of people that you love, whether they your children or just friends. We've had that conversation, a year ago.
Oh,
you know what I'm
Fame,
saying?
you absolutely killing me.
Protective of the people you love. Your man.
I'm a realistic person. If my dude would have said some shit that was crazy, if my man would have said some off the wall shit, if he would have been talking about him and laughing, that's a different conversation. But it was a level of concern. It was a thing of, man, we reach out to these parents, we set up times for them to come in, they don't show up. They're supposed to be doing things. We're trying to do what we're doing for these children, and they parents just, the parents want us to be everything for these kids. And we don't even have the manpower. We can't pull everything together for this one child. And then you got all these other kids that are being left behind or pulled into this same situation.
Teachers, school officials and teachers are granted one bit of immunity that nobody else is granted when it comes to children or in their building. And that's called in loco parenthesis. In place of the parents, you can act in place of the parents of these children.
So now let me ask you this, Wayne. When you were in school, when you were teaching school, what grades did you teach? I'm curious.
I taught middle school science.
Middle school science. What age would that be? 12 to 14?
It was 5 to 8.
5 to 8? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had 5-year-olds coming to school in need
no, 5th grade to 8th grade.
5th grade, I'm sorry, 5th graders. If you have 5th graders coming in to school and they didn't have what they needed to be prepared, was you pulling the money out of your pocket for those kids to get what they needed? What were you doing?
Ask a classmate.
Huh?
We're ask a classmate if you need paper. I might have some pens or whatever. But if it became habitual, then you're going to the principal's office.
Okay, and then what happens once the kid gets to the principal office? What's the duty of the principal?
It never got to that point because I stopped the threat early, nipped it in the bud.
Okay, so
they understood I was the same guy every day. What's expected of you has nothing to do. What's expected of you in this classroom has nothing to do with anything that's going on at home.
Fame,
you know why?
Fame,
because half of those kids came from broken homes. So why send them homework to do? Why put more of a burden on them? Your man might be in out of his league.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll say that. Let's say that he's wrong for showing concern for the kids that are ill-prepared for school. And let's just say that he probably
in the wrong. Let's just say he's in the wrong profession.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's say that he probably should be a social worker versus a professional he was a teacher for many years and then got into assistant principal and now he's a principal. Let's just say that he probably shouldn't have ever even took the hazard pay to go to the school district that he went to, because
that's exactly why he went, to get the free.
You think it's free? You think it's free? You think that hazard? You know what? Well, Frame, it's funny that you say that.
Teaching in an inner city school.
It's funny that you say that because you know hazard pay can't be no more than $2,500 on the salary. You know that. Okay.
It's never a hazard around children.
Well, let me just explain to you. It's a hazard because of where
man is not a teacher. He's a worker.
Let me explain something to you. You should know this.
He's not an educator. He's a worker.
What does that mean?
Between the two.
What are you talking
about? Down the strike line when Cleveland Public Schools had a strike years ago.
Now,
he probably was out there striking with them.
You are earning your stripes. You are earning what
educators do.
You are earning your chaos agent stripes tonight, bro. You are a sergeant.
I think your man is a chaos
What are you
agent.
talking about?
As your man.
What are you talking about, bro? You sound crazy as fuck. I can't even put this together the right way. I mean, I can't even.
Yeah, because because that's your man's and
no.
The nigga in out of his league.
No, okay.
He sounds like a program director of the Lighthouse as opposed to the principal of a school district.
See, now you just being disrespectful. You trying to
sound like he need to be up there working with Enoch and no.
Oh, you count. All right. Fame. Anything else, bro?
Let me say this is what I called about. Did you see the issue with Shannon Sharp and boy?
I did, bro. I did. You talking about Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp? Yeah, I seen that.
Yes, there was so much subtle racism involved in that to the point where Skip needs to be taken off the air. But I mean, Shannon, he wasn't very professional going off like that, to get triggered like that to go off. But Skip going off talking about put your glasses back on, and comparing a quarterback to a tight end for longevity.
Yeah, all that racist shit. I get it. I can see how you can make that into a racial situation. I can see it. Comparing a quarterback to a tight end, that's racist as hell. And put your glasses back on, that's racist as fuck. I get it.
Well, he's being paternalistic, and put your glasses back on because now you look intimidating without them. Good sized dude. He's anti-country. He's from the South, the deep. The Gullah South, to the point where he didn't need to make it to the league to be big and cock strong. He was going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was not fun. It was somewhat comical to watch those guys debate, and then it become personal. That's what happened. It became personal. I think Skip Bayless was wrong. Now, I'm going to tell you how he was wrong, and I'll give you my opinion. For y'all that didn't watch it, I'm going to say this real fast. Two guys got into it. One happened to be white, one happened to be black. Has nothing to do with this argument as far as I'm concerned. But let me just say this. One guy is defending Tom Brady, saying he's the greatest quarterback. The white guy is saying that Skip Bayless is saying that Tom Brady is the best quarterback ever. And then he accuses Shannon Sharp of being jealous because Brady is 45 years old, still playing at a high level. But then Shannon Sharp, who's a Hall of Famer, several-time Pro Bowler, making these accurate comments about how Tom Brady's having a bad year. So Skip Bayless take it to a personal level and says, you feel jealous because Tom Brady is 45, still playing at a high level. See, this is disrespectful. This is where it got disrespectful. He says, you're jealous because he's 45. You're 35 when you had to stop playing the game. And that made it personal. And now Shannon Sharp has every right in the world to go at him the way he did. If y'all didn't see it, go on YouTube and put in Shannon Sharp and Skip. Once you put Shannon Sharp name in, it'll pop up on YouTube for sure. But he was wrong. Shannon Sharp had every right in the world to get upset because Skip Bayless hitting below the belt. He made it personal, and it was wrong.
Right, you're exactly right. But not to go off of that, not to dish your mans or nothing, but when I hear about teachers saying things like that, educators, it just really chaps
What? Let me ask you this, Fame, not to get long.
teachers.
Oh, my bad. You cutting out on me. Can you hear me?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I hear you.
Let me ask this. I don't want to get long at it. Maybe I misunderstood where you were coming from. So let me try to circle the wagon and try to get a little better perspective of where you
understand anything.
Huh?
You didn't misunderstand anything.
No. I just want to be. I want to be clear.
You heard me right,
No. I want to be clear.
You know?
I want to be clear that what you're saying is he shouldn't feel the way he feel about those kids. He shouldn't feel sorry for those kids. He shouldn't feel the way he feels because these kids are coming to school unprepared with home life, with not having on proper attire when they get to the school. Like socks and stuff to hit the weather with. I mean, he shouldn't have any type of feeling for that. He just needs to be a principal of the school and just teach. That's pretty much what you're saying?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Yes, that's got nothing to do with his job to get that building to reach certain academic levels.
Right. Okay. So what do you say about the kid?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry too. What do you say about the kid? Because I understood. I got your answer. What do you say about the people that had a problem with the school board or the school that had, in Cincinnati, they had the little boy that hung himself. What grade was he in over at something school in Cincinnati?
Like Carson, like third grade.
Third grader. And the kid, the teachers, the principal, nobody intervened in what was going on with that kid. He was getting bullied and some things were going on with him at home as well. He went home and he hung himself. And now,
I gotta find out how many black teachers were involved in that.
Black teachers? What difference does that make?
Because
start over. You faded out, Fame.
Say what?
You faded out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me try and walk to it. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. We know for a fact that of the teaching profession is white females. and these females don't generally care about black males, like that. And so if that was a mostly white school, they probably just didn't give a shit. Like, oh, you're black, you know how to fight, go ahead and handle it. A girl in my cohort did that. I remember that when we was in school and shit, getting our teacher certification. She one of our teacher student lessons was she went into a damn inner city school and said, I mean, you guys have had a fight, talking shit about fighting. I'm like, you didn't have to go there to teach no damn science, to teach no damn it was a lesson about rocks and rock formation. I'm like, you ain't have to go there.
Fame, you keep cutting in and out on this. Let me just say this to you, bro.
It's just too bad of a little spot, but hey, it's been real. I'll hop off.
It ain't been real.
I'll pick it up for you with another day here.
It ain't been real. It ain't been real. It ain't been real. All right. All right, Fame. That shit wasn't real. All right. That was some of the most chaos agent shit I've ever heard in my life. Right here live on Wyatt Live, December the 14th, 2022. Fame Rothstein is now one of my nominations for Chaos Agent of the Year, just for that one phone call. I told you we going off for Chaos Agent of the Year. Fame Rothstein, as of now, he's not my one and only, but he's one of my Chaos Agent nominees of the year just for that one phone call. I didn't understand where he was going and what was coming out of that. I didn't get it. But then he also said something to the nature of the little kid at Carson or whatever it was, that it was probably white teachers. Well, Fame, let me say this to you, brother. We can always keep on making everything white and black and all that old shit. Maybe I just don't get it. But I'm going to say this to you. I've had plenty of white teachers in my life. I've had plenty of black teachers in my life. I've never had one white teacher disrespect me to the point where they made me feel less than who I am, because my mom and my people at home taught me how to keep my head up and never let anybody put me down to a level that I can't come back from. That's never happened. But let me tell you this, and this is live, and this is real talk. The only teacher in my life that had ever told me to my face that I ain't shit and that I ain't gonna never be shit happens to be a black woman who was a teacher of me in Cincinnati, Ohio. told me to my face, I ain't shit, my mom ain't shit, and I ain't gonna never be shit. It was a black lady that told me that. That don't phase me today, but it makes me wonder why y'all talking about these white teachers don't give a shit about us, when in fact a lot of us didn't have black teachers through our upbringings too. You know what I mean? But the only one that ever told me I ain't gonna be shit to my face, like this a movie scene, like you really said that to me? It was a black lady. And I remember sitting on a flight one time, and I remember putting a post together, and I remember taking a picture, and I told her when I was sitting on a jet, I said, I named her on my post. Now I gave somebody really close to me my word that I would never tell that teacher's name in public again. But on that post on Facebook 4 years ago, 5 years ago, it was 5 years ago when I put that post out, I took a picture of me on a plane and I waved as I was getting on a jet. And I said, thank you, Miss Such and Such, for telling me I wasn't going to be shit in life. How you like me now? That was to a black teacher, and I put her name on that post. So I just want to let you know, I can't stand when we always put these color codes on everything, because that keep us sleeping on the shit that really matter. Just like he probably ain't got no problem he's blinded by the fact that we have a black superintendent. You looking at the fact of giving a whole lot of passes because a certain person is black. I say get the job done. I don't give a damn if it's an Asian old man with gray hair running down his back. Get our numbers up. Get our kids graduating. Get our truancy numbers down. Graduate our kids. I don't care what you look like. Get the job done. But when you don't get the job done, I'm coming for you. I'm going to have a whole lot to say about you. And I don't care what color you are. That's me. Let's take another call real fast. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
CK.
Team CK. What's good, CK? What's good with you, brother?
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know, a lot of people be hating on you because of your background, man. You see your background. You got a mean background. I'm looking at you on
so
the
what?
big screen.
They hate me, bro. They don't hate me just because of that. They hate me, period. But I don't like that.
Man, you got a Scarface background. Your stuff look like Scarface with the Uzi up there. You be coming from different angles.
Uzi?
You be coming from different angles. Look at that.
CK.
Look at that. Is that the kitchen?
CK.
Boy, that's mean.
CK. Let's get to it, brother. Don't do that. Don't embarrass me. Let's get to it, brother. What's up with you, man?
Man, we lost a legendary Stephen Boss died today.
Who?
40 years old. He had Stephen Boss, Stephen Twitch Boss.
Really?
He was executive producer for Ellen.
You talking about the DJ dude?
He just like you, man, balling out of control. Beautiful wife, 2 young kids, 3-year-old, 8 years old. And I was like, damn, that's why I was late to your program. I was, I'm looking like, I didn't know people in that successful commit suicide. He's 40.
What makes him successful? Yeah. I mean, what makes him successful in your eyes may not make him successful in his mind.
We got to look at foul play, right? I'm just saying, if they tell me you committed suicide, I'm not going to believe that shit.
Please don't.
You got too much going for you.
Yeah, please don't believe that I would do it. I ain't there yet. Now, I might look, bro, if I commit suicide, it didn't really happen. I'm telling y'all now on the air. I'm telling y'all right now on the air. If anybody ever said he committed suicide, somebody killed my ass. I'm telling you. All right. I'm just telling y'all. And
that's what this guy looked like. When you do the background, you see this just happened today. Ellen is heartbroken. Like I said, he got his kids younger than yours, a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I heard.
A 3-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I heard.
And he balling just like you. His background looks just like yours.
That's tragic that he would take his own life. They saying that it was a gunshot.
Yeah, his wife went to the police and said my husband just left the house without the car, and then they said they heard gunshots, and he was dead. They
heard the gunshots on the police car on the phone call.
No.
Oh, okay.
She went to the police, and then when they went to do that look for him, they heard, I guess, searching. They heard gunshot. That's all we got. It's so new.
Okay.
But I tend to side with you on that, especially when it's all going good. See, when it's somebody like me that ain't got nothing, then you could understand a
CK.
suicide, homicide
CK.
on yourself.
Your
But
cover
when
is
you
blown.
Uh-huh.
Your cover is blown, brother. Let me tell you something. CK, you far from stupid, bro. Stop playing. Okay, stop talking about how you ain't got shit, bro. You know you was just on
Third
FaceTime.
grade dropout. How many years I've been going for that GED?
Stop, bro.
Come on now.
Stop. The jig is up, bro. The
The
jig is up, bro. Listen, I seen you. You just came on my FaceTime, and the world seen you on our FaceTime. You don't look like no broke up, ain't got shit going on ass dude, bro. I clearly seen you, and you ain't what you don't look nothing like what you hear, like you sound. And you don't look like you struggling. You don't look like a third grade dropout. You look very intelligent. You say intelligent things. You just want to play dumb for some dumbass reason. Why do you do that?
Hold on. And this is why we don't understand why people kill themselves. Because you on the outside be looking different. You don't know what somebody going through.
Right.
Right? Remember?
Yeah. I remember.
Shakur bodyguard committed suicide. He was a straight man of God. Every time he talked about Jesus. And that's, but I do be suspicious about that. Yourself. I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, hell no. And then he loved his family too much. I'd be looking at that part too. You know, your family played too much of a part for you to hurt them like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you got to look at, like, you know, the homicide, the suspicion, the foul play to make it seem, we done seen these insurance scams and all that, But to your point, what you said about the teacher, a stud white lady, I went to, okay, remember I dropped out in the third, but I came back. You know who Ronald E. McNair is?
No.
The black astronaut that died in the Challenger?
Oh, say the name again?
Ronald E. McNair.
Rings a bell. No, I
remember the Challenger exploded.
Yeah, I thought that was a black lady that was on the Challenger.
Yeah, but it was a man, Ronald E. McNair. He passed away, and they named the school after him. So I went to Ronald E. McNair High, and we had a stud white lady teacher, and she did me similar. She said, I said something, just like you said, for some dumbass reason, I said something crazy. And she said, ignorance is bliss. My reply was, gay is happy. And the classroom exploded in laughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because she came at me. I came right back.
Oh, but you knew she was gay. I get it. I get it. Okay. You say you knew she was gay. I get it now. I'm sorry. I was gone for a minute.
She was a stud.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would have laughed in class too. I would have laughed if I was in the classroom too. I would have laughed.
Yeah, we was going at it. But Ronald E. McNair was 100% black, not no white kids. And this is Decatur, Georgia, DeKalb County.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that, like, ignorance is bliss. I said, came back, gay is happy. So, but look what that lady made you today. Because of that disrespect, that put a drive in you.
Yeah, well,
she said you ain't gonna be shit.
Kinda. She had nothing to do with. I was gonna be who I was gonna be. It didn't take her to say that ignorant shit to me. It's just that it was it reminds me when I hear people talk about teachers and they talk about people. See, I pay attention to the people that tell people what they can and what they can't do. I listen to more of us tell each other what we can and what we do. I ain't never had no white person tell me to my face I can't do something or can't be something, but I've had black people tell me that. Even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I first started in business, I had a business partner that was a black guy, and we didn't really know each other that well. But once, and it didn't matter. We didn't have to be the best of friends to do business. We had to have the same business practices. That was more important to me. But after doing business with him, and I started learning, he graduated from Xavier University. So I thought he would be a little bit more diverse in his way of thinking. But it wasn't, he didn't have a diverse way of thinking. He was still enslaved in the mind that white folks wasn't letting us do certain things. And I ain't never lived my life like that. I ain't never been told, I have never believed that I can't do something because somebody ain't gonna let me. I might not be able to do something because I might not have the ability. That's fair. I can't be the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't have that ability. But if I want to be something realistic that's achievable in life for real, I can do it, and nobody can stop me from doing it. And the only people that tell you what you can and what you can't do are most of the time people that look like you. Most people told me, everybody that told me that what I couldn't do, it came from somebody that looked like me. I ain't never been told by the bank. I ain't never been told by a white friend, a colleague, none of that shit. They ain't gonna let you do they ain't gonna let you do that. I've only heard that from just like Jay-Z. He says uncle told him he couldn't sell 1 million records. He had to tell his uncle, you couldn't sell 1 million records, but I can.
Right. Yo, my stepfather told me, we watching in the heat of the night when we was kids, right? I see one of my classmates on the show, right? I'm like, oh, that's my dude, Philip. He like, man, that ain't him. There's somebody look like him. Like, how he gonna be on that? I knew as a kid, I said, oh, you got the nigga syndrome. Oh, you don't believe in yourself. I said, this ain't shit, this is Atlanta. I said, I know what he looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
And look how many stars Atlanta then came since then. But even as kids, we had people evolving as stars. Even Outkast. I remember before they even blew up, they was like, it's these two guys out of Tri-Cities High School, man. They talented. And next thing you know, they all on the big screen. So I remember like, damn, Step Pop, you don't want nobody to achieve.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because like you said, you can do whatever you want to do out here, even be the quarterback. Look at Charlie Ward. He Heisman Trophy, he went to play in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? And look at the Tom Brady. Okay, this is the thing with the Tom Brady, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp.
Okay.
Shannon Sharp should have got to the meat of the sandwich. He never got to the meat.
Okay.
The meat is you talk so much shit about LeBron. Okay, I'm gonna talk about your hero then, because you know LeBron is Shannon Sharp hero. So,
okay.
So that's all it is. It's a racial complex going on. Skip, you notice how he tears down LeBron every chance he gets?
I don't really
Skip
watch
Bayless?
the show, so I really don't know, but I'm gonna take your word for it. So he tears LeBron down.
Yeah, this is what goes on. He tears him down every chance he gets. So that developed, he created Shannon Sharp into, okay, I'm gonna tear down your hero. And it got to that, so it got personal. So all he had to do was, like Jalen Rose got personal with Skip Bayless. He said, ain't you the buster that scored? How much did you average? 1.4 in high school, junior high?
Right.
He said, you averaged 1.4. So who was you? We see why you talk about all the black athletes. See, Jalen Rose to get to the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's a racial complex going on. He didn't like it. So I'm going to stand behind my three Super Bowls retiring at 35.
Right.
That was the past. This is the future. People always go longer. You know, you're a boxing man. How old was Rocky Marciano when he retired, sir?
Yeah, he was old. He was over.
He was young.
Oh, yeah. What you mean? You said who?
Rocky Marciano.
I thought Rocky Marciano was old. Who am I thinking of? I thought he was an old man when he retired. I thought he took fights that he wasn't supposed to fight. He wasn't supposed to take. Maybe I'm wrong.
Rocky Marciano retired undefeated. He's the great heavyweight, the great white hope.
Yeah.
He retired undefeated. He died young in a plane crash at like 33.
Now I'm not up on Rocky. I'm not up on Rocky like that. My
you-
apologies. I'm not up on him like
He
that.
retired, but like that's what I'm saying. You retire. That's the age to retire as a boxer. This fighting till you're 40. That's a new wave thing. So Shannon Sharp retiring at 35. That's old for football, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
The average NFL player plays how many years, Mr. Wyatt?
Oh, it's not long. 2 to 3 years, maybe.
Yep, 3 years is the average length.
Yeah.
And you got to make it 3 to get your pension.
Yeah. They don't really last long. It's a brutal sport.
So anybody that's playing 10 to 15 years like Deion, these are the greatest players ever to play the game. So yes, Tom Brady does have an argument as the greatest player, but it's still an argument. Just like Jordan has an argument as the greatest, but it's not official. It's other Bill from the Celtics.
Right.
He could be up there. You know what I mean? We got a lot of great. Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James. We got a lot of people. It's not no one greatest. You just want to put yourself in the in the conversation. As long as I'm getting compared to Michael Jordan, I am the greatest, right?
I would think so.
You get it. Okay, you know how all of us used to rap back in the day. Like every black dude used to rap.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a failed rapper, right? But the last rap I ever wrote.
No, not you, CK. You say you're a failed rapper?
Yeah, you know we all are, man. What black? Show me a black man that ain't rap. Jesus, you probably rap when you was young.
Not really, but I was a DJ. I was close enough.
Close enough. But this, I asked God, I said, I want the best bars ever. This is what I came up with.
Oh Lord, I can't
Put
wait.
God first. Have faith in the youth. Education is the only way to the truth.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. You put that in. Did you put that in a rap?
Faith in the youth. Education is the only way to the truth.
Did you put that in a rap?
No bias.
Did you put that in a rap song, bro?
Yeah, that was the last thing I ever said. That was the last. That was it.
You got to
like drop the mic. That was the last thing I could do.
Yeah, you got to release that.
It was so fulfilling that I was like, I'm not never doing it no more. I'm done. You know, it's old. You know, it's time to give it up.
Yeah. Now you got to release that, bro. You got to put that shit out. You got to bring it back.
Yeah, I say it all the time. It's my motto. It's my put that on my grave, on my tombstone.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I'd buy it.
But yeah, but Mr. Wyatt, you gotta understand, man. We out here influencing the youth to do better and be great. You see the money is out here. Now you're getting through to them. Now you're getting through to the people.
Right.
That's what it is. And you tell them it's all about family. And like I said, with you, it's already laid in there. So you're gonna get the hate and the jealousy because they see they can't fold you. They ain't got the OJ Simpson. See, they wish you was like OJ.
Nah.
With Nicole.
Nah, ain't gonna happen. I feel you on that. See, I have to say that I'm not gonna be an easy target. You heard me say that the other day. I'm not an easy target for these cats. See, you can't say that a man that do so much for his people don't like his people. You can't say that I don't even love my people because I got a white woman. All the shit, all the little shit that they put out there, you can't say that. You can't say he don't give back. He just do. You can't say that. See what I'm saying? All the shit that the chaos agents say, I'm just the opposite of everything that they say. You know, that they attack people. They got something for every. Just like when I said that thing about Brittany Griner the other day, the white flag came out. I don't know if you heard it, CK. Yeah, because you came on the live the other day. I told you that some people who don't even watch the show came in and said, that's me attacking black people when in fact a black woman. And I'm saying, black women. And I'm trying to figure out what did what I say have to do with a black woman other than the black woman is something who said it. And that comment that I made in that post applies to anybody that don't stand up for the flag, who get captured in a country and the country stop everything they do and get their ass over there and get your ass. My question to you is now, will you stand up for the national anthem since the country gave all that patriotism to your ass? Now, do you feel different about, oh, say, can you see? Her ass ought to be singing at the Super Bowl this year. She should be singing at the Super Bowl for their asses coming over there to get her.
I'm mad. I didn't think of that. You right.
And now let me say, now let me say something to you about this. For the Biden people, y'all gonna think I'm attacking, but this is some real shit. I don't want to hear one more person from this administration when the gun fights and all this shit happened in Chicago, New York, and all that old shit. I don't want to hear anybody from that administration talking about gun control. I don't want to hear anybody from the Biden administration talking about we got to take control of these guns and these gun manufacturers and all this shit are wrong. I don't want to hear shit else about guns. I don't want to hear another word about guns. The reason why I don't want to hear anything about guns is because you just freed a fucking a warlord. You just freed an arms dealer. You just freed an arms dealer who supplied countries with guns. You just supplied countries, a man that was financing warlords' wars with guns. The guns, the AK-47s that you see in the streets of America, this man probably sold them to somebody that put them out on the streets in America. So how you gonna let somebody that you call the merchant of death, who was selling, I got the list, 30,000 Uzis, 27,000 AK-47s, air missiles, gun runners for Taliban and the Taliban, and supplied arms for warlords, and gave weapons to Central Africa Republic, gave weapons to them, and Democratic Republic of Congo. You supplied. This man went to jail for supplying weapons to the world, and them weapons made it to America's streets. And don't ever say anything about gun control in America when you released one of the most deadliest gun dealers in the world. I'm tired of these hypocrites talking that shit. It ain't about gun control. It's about people who have guns. And if you're going to allow people who selling guns to people who ain't got no business with guns, you're going to make sure they get out of jail and go back to the world that they came from. You have no grounds to talk about gun control in America or anywhere in this country. Y'all done got bamboozled. Y'all ain't nobody going to say the realest shit in the world, but you're going to hear it right here. Biden did that shit. He did it. And then he put it right in your face. It was a photo op. He took him, the vice president, and that girl's wife, and they stood up there like this man made a power chess move when in fact he played checkers on a red and black board. That's what he did. He ain't playing checkers with Russia. He playing checkers with people who ain't got no sense in his own country of America. You released the arms dealer who put guns on the streets of your country for a basketball player. You can attack me and say I'm attacking Brittany Griner all you want to, but the facts are what the facts are. Don't ever say this man give a shit about guns being in the hands of terrorists, because you just released a terrorist arming man. You just released it. So please save it. And I can't wait for them to try to make up what the fuck is going on. Make up something, D's. This is, the Democrats always talk about how the Republicans ain't shit and we evil. Not me, but they are evil. I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. I'm an independent. I can play both sides of the fence, and I can tell you both sides of the party are the same. They both lie. They both act like one is better than the other. But this move right here shows you exactly the shit that people will fall for. Y'all will fall for this shit, and he'll come on front of y'all, even though the floor is marked, and they got to tell him where to go and what to say. He'll stand in front of that podium and say this is the best day in American history this year. We freed an American, but yet we put a person who's been selling guns to drug lords, and we did it. And here's my question. Nobody has been able to answer this question for me. Nobody can tell me, other than somebody that want to make it a black and white issue. Nobody can tell me what makes this basketball player so valuable over an arms dealer who supplied the world with weapons. Who can tell me that what makes her so valuable? You know what makes her so valuable? What Biden's getting out of it, not what America's getting out of it, because it's more of a threat that this man is free. It's more of a threat. Why would Putin want him? Why would Putin want him? Okay, he got work to do. He got work to do. You think they letting this motherfucker out for free? You don't think he owe down? He owe Putin. What you think they gonna take him and take him over to Russia and then Putin gonna kill him? They got a war going on. His connects are valuable. His connects are valuable. Somebody answer that question, other than somebody that want to make me sound crazy and say, oh, he don't like black women, or he don't like LGBTQ women. He don't like people. He don't like people that look like him. It's a damn shame what he's saying. Listen to him, because y'all know I got that type of hate. But the truth of the matter is you fell for the banana in the tailpipe, because the same thing will be on a billboard one day. It's going to be in a pamphlet. Whenever that dumbass question come up of, well, what's your black agenda? They're going to hold up the lady Brittany Griner, and they're going to always remind you, and they're going to put her on a platform of prisoners over. They're going to use her. They're going to use her up. And if that's the price it costs for me to get home, then so be it. If that's how she going to get home, so be it. That benefits her. That's fine. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm happy she home. But didn't I want to see it go a little different? Yeah, I would have loved to see it go a little bit different. But you're not going to dangle this bullshit in my face like you was doing the best deal in the world because you was trying to save an American. That's bullshit. They got 66 other Americans where a deal is not good enough. What made this deal good enough? You got 66 other Americans. When that lady, the speaker, when the lady from the Biden administration, the speaker, the media lady that they put up, the other lady who's LGBTQ black lady sitting up there to cushion all the questions. You don't want to criticize her because now you hate your own people when you do that. So now she said it. Well, we're happy to just get an American home. Well, what made this one American over the 66 that's in all these other scattered countries? Why aren't they important? They're American too. Brittany Griner was over there for 9 months. You got people that's been there over 10 years. People that's been there for 5 years. It don't have to be whaling. It don't have to be. It could be some other shit going on. What made this situation so important right away?
I can answer it for you.
Go ahead.
I got the answer for the $1 million question. Okay. This guy is like, he's so valuable. We used her to get him out. Not only do Putin need him, like you just said, America needs him to spread them seeds in America. We need to spread them. He is the Lord of War, the merchant of death. He is the most powerful gun dealer. So America needs him, he's valuable to him. So we acting like it's Brittany Griner. No, we just use her as a way to release him. We release somebody we had to release. It's just like some people so valuable, you can't, like Joe Mixon. Just because he beat up that white girl, he's still going to the league. He's too valuable. We can't. The NFL ain't going on without this guy. We need this young buck. So we need this merchant of death.
I get it.
Because he is the number one. He's the number one draft pick on the weapon side of the game.
Right, I get it.
See, remember?
Well,
so they used them they use her as a pawn, but it's really to free him.
Well, I don't think it was a coincidence that a couple days after she come home, they passed a bill that has something to do with LGBTQ rights of wedding and being married and partnerships and keeping states from canceling their marriages. I don't know exactly what the bill is called. I don't know off the top of my head. But then they sprinkled the other thing in so you can now make it a you can take some of the sting out of it. Wasn't really for LGBTQ. Now they're trying to say that also in that bill it involved biracial marriages can't be dissolved. Like, who was ever talking about doing that shit anyway? What Republican or what Democrat was saying we're going to make it where white people and black people can't get married? Everybody's always been talking.
The movie, the Lord of War. Did you see that movie?
I seen the movie years ago. It's been a long time.
But you remember Nicolas Cage? He kept getting out. He would get captured, but he was too valuable to the streets. He wasn't like Pablo. You can get rid of him. They needed that man because he had all the connects. Even at the end when he got busted, he got out again. That's who the merchant of death is. We gonna use Brittany to get him out because America need him on them street, man. Them guns getting a little thin. Get back out there, brother.
Yeah, well,
we need them just as much. We are the gun capital of the world, America, ain't we?
Well, we working on it.
We got more guns than us.
We working on it. Them guns come from somewhere, and I can tell you right now, everybody talk about how the guns aren't made. Like black people don't make planes and we don't make the guns. How do they end up in our communities? You got people like the merchant of death who get their hands on those type of weapons and they sell them to people and those people sell them to the streets. That's how it happens. Yep. And I don't want to hear shit. Right. I don't want to hear anybody talking about gun control from that party. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear people talking about gun manufacturers. And I don't want to hear that shit never, ever again out of their mouth because I got plenty of tape from Biden saying in the last year, every time he get up and they ask him to speak on Chicago, they always blame the weapons. They never blame the people. So how in the hell are you going to release? There's no deal for a weapons dealer. There's no deal. Not when we got as much crime and shooting and shit going on our streets, unjustifiable gun ownership in America. These people are getting shot up on our streets by guns that are not registered. These are guns that are being used in street wars, and they coming from wars. They coming from gun lords. They're not coming from stores. I ain't seen those dudes in Chicago getting shot by guns that they didn't bought over the counter at a gun shop. These are scratched off number guns coming from people like the Merchant of Death. And then you're going to go out there and you're going to go make a deal so you can make a political move and make it sound like you didn't did something for some black folks or LGBTQ, whatever it may be. That's all it was. And people sitting back smiling. And you know what? They fell for it. They fell for the fact that, yeah, okay, he did something for us. Really? And I'm going to tell you something. Emmanuel, you listen to Emmanuel. Emmanuel brought up something that was very valid. He said, nah, this wasn't for black people. This was more for LGBTQ community as far as I'm concerned. And he's right. I never even thought of it like that. Yep. He was on point. He was on point. This wasn't even really for black folks.
Bases. You got alphabet, you got women,
man.
You got black.
Come on, bro.
You got like 3 different chords.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He hit a triple crown. You know when the horses win all 3 of the crowns? That's what Biden just did. That's what he just did.
The number one you overlooking is the number one gang, the most powerful gang is the gun manufacturers. That's who they let out. The number one gun king. They let out the GK. The gun king.
We just seen it. We just seen it happen, brother. That's why we just seen it happen. All right, CK, I got to move on, brother. Yes, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here this evening.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Davis Denise, I read something. You said nobody fights for black politics. I don't know about that, sis. You and I agree on a lot. I don't know about that. All I can tell you is that a lot of black politicians don't really fight for black people. They talk that shit. They talk that shit. They really do. I'm just going to be honest with you. They talk that shit. If you try, black folks silence you. Yeah, in a sense, if you're talking about some things that really are achievable, they really can silence you. But a lot of the things that I hear coming from politicians that may be black is the same old shit. I'm just being honest with you. It's the same old stuff. And most of that stuff is being said just to make sure that they look in spot. You know what I'm saying? They're saying what they need to say to sound like that they really on board. You got people with black politicians that got in office and look, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. They ain't gonna like what I'm about to say because some people take shit personal. And if it fits your foot, then put the shoe on. But you got black politicians that get in the office and do the same shit that they complain about what the white ones do, or the Jewish ones do, or Asian ones do. They get in there and they self-serve and they get personal and they make money and they do what they do. And the black ones go in and do the same shit. And nobody criticizes them. It's just like a preacher in a church to me sometimes. I'm just being honest with you. Nobody criticizes the pastor until he gets caught. And then, of course, you pray to God. And then when he get caught, it don't mean nothing no more. Here comes second chance, third chance. That's all I'm saying to you. We always quick to blame another motherfucker for the shit that we do too. We do it too. And you know what? People want to hold police to a higher standard. People want to hold police to a higher standard, right? Do you hold your politicians that look like you to a higher standard? You don't. You don't. So look, I apologize. Hey, I got a caller that's calling in. I apologize. My time is up. I'm getting to the end. I'm winding out. I really wish I could take the call, but I can't. I'm about to get out of here, Davis Denise. I'm 20 minutes past where I was supposed to be, but I started at 5:20 and I put this 3 hours in, and I got my family is waiting for me. And there's some things I need to take care of tonight before I head back. And I want to get that closed up and going. But you're gonna have to go over this year. Yeah. Well, let me just say this to you. I'm sorry if you didn't understand. Not you, Davis Denise. I got a little hot with the Brittany Griner thing. It has nothing to do with Brittany Griner. It's the hypocrisy that came out of the mouth of a president when you asked him about the crime and the gun violence in America in Chicago. You got 32 brothers being shot over the weekend on a consistent basis in Chicago. These are not guns at the gun range, gun stores. These are street guns. This is crime in LA Philadelphia, look at the numbers of what's going on. They're not having fights with sticks. They are out here shooting with each other, and everybody's asking where these guns come from. They're not all stolen guns. These are guns being distributed by people that are buying guns from people like the Merchant of Death. It is total hypocrisy for you to release somebody like that. Total hypocrisy for you to release someone like that and call yourself concerned about gun violence in America. We'll fall for anything. Yo, that's my time this evening. Thanks for coming in. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Peace and love to everybody, man, and I mean that.
Then I drop the beat, I drop the beat, I drop the one. And then comes the 2 to the 3 and 4. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. 3, 2, 1. One. And then comes the 2 to the 3 and 4. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. 3, 2, 1. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. One, and then comes the 2 to the 3 and 4. Then I drop the beat I have in store. Lay the lyrics on the top like a rug. Make it sound smooth and later make a dub. Enunciate well, so that you can tell I am not illiterate, no, not even a little bit. Nothing like an idiot. Get it? You want the record? Cool, I'm with it. Let the rhythm check you. Shake it cause it makes you. As I turn the knob to the door, you escape through. Going like a nut, don't be a pup. And I let it play cause dress ain't funky enough. Rasta. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Watch the smooth lyrics that take place. If you want another reason why it must be funky, yo, I am not a jackass, meaning not a donkey, so I will play the game like it should be played. Drop the funk and do the mix, so the bass will never fade. Ship it to the station in your jurisdiction. Brothers say I'm dope, and the others think I'm bitching. No crowd can avoid the D.O. to the C. When the P.E.O.F.O.I.M.I.N.G. on the stage. See the simple fact is I am dope and known. I rock a funky beat without a chord, so in is my conclusion. You will enjoy the fusion, and I will ascend with the style that I am using. Knowing that it's tough, finish not a buff. I think I'll let it play, cause dreads ain't funky enough. Hip hop. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Let's get funky, let's get funky. Dread make the funky hip hop music, so check it. Listen to the kick, popping with a click, and with no rehearsals, I'm dropping funky verses. Stupid with the bitch, with I think that you are relying on. You love it when it battles, it's the fact that I am buying on suckers. Never come close, cause of knowing. There's no stopping the doc when I am flowing, but in the event, someone would try to juice this, stop him in his tracks, show him that I am ruthless. I don't give a damn, don't think that I am joking, cause I don't think he is funny.